right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part, so make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. Depending on where you live, it's getting cold. Get yourself a coach's jacket only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server. It's like a giant group chat that is absolutely free to join 24/7. We're in there hanging out, and it's a great place to have interesting conversations and meet people you probably otherwise wouldn't. And, of course, it is absolutely free to join. We've got a free chat right in there. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. There's a few different tiers, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. Gets you members-only live streams here on YouTube and all that other good stuff. Plus, it opens up the full Discord server. There's other channels. There's the voice channel where we, as soon as we are done here, we are headed over there for an after party. So we don't have to worry about any YouTube censors or anything, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Definitely come and join us. All right. What is going on? Welcome. So we're having a little bit of the opposite problem that we've been having. Usually, since we cover more long form things, we've been kind of stuck to, the big stories, when Trump is on here, when JD Vance is there. And we're kind of in that lame duck period. So we haven't had much come out except, Cenk and Anna from the Young Turks going everywhere. So I figured we could flip it around a little bit and jump around with a few different stories. As you can see, we do have a poll with a few different options. We got a bunch of stuff to cover. I wanted to start out with our own Luigi Mangione. Because just in case anybody doesn't know what is good, I have not read the manifesto itself yet. So let's just get a little update on what's going on with him. Check that out. And then there's a really cool thing that happened at the jail that he is in. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Now to the latest on the suspect in the CEO murder. Luigi Mangione is fighting extradition back to the city tonight, setting up what could be a weeks-long process. And Governor Hochul says that she will intervene. Here's the latest that we know. We're learning more about the writings in his possession when he was arrested. Mangione shouted at reporters as he walked into a Pennsylvania courtroom today, and he was denied bail. We have team coverage here for you tonight. Lisa Rosner has reaction from those that knew him, including a former roommate. Dick Brennan breaking down the latest on Mangione's writings. But Allie Bauman kicks off from Pennsylvania. She was in court today as the suspect made his first appearance.
Shout out to Zippy DSM Lee. Welcome to the party. We also got Kevin Johnson in the building. Oh, we got Craig. Welcome. Maybe we'll definitely have to take a look at Nancy Pelosi breaking her hip. And we got Dixon Cider. Welcome to the party. Chuck who? What you talk about, Willis? And we got Bonzig. Welcome to the parties. Very glad to see you guys. If you do me a huge favor, hit that like button on your way in. Thank you.
Luigi Mangione did not seem shaken inside the courtroom. He sat up straight, at times smiled, and often looked around at the rows of reporters, mouthing to himself as if he was counting the number of people in the room. Now, it could be up to a month before Mangione is extradited back to New York, but Governor Kathy Hochul is vowing to sign a request for a governor's warrant to ensure he is tried.
And it's completely out of touch, and it's insult the intelligence of the American people and lived experience.
Luigi Mangione writhed and shouted.
Lived experience? What?
And it's completely out of touch.
This is completely out of touch.
And it's insult the intelligence of the American people.
Insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Lived experience.
Their lived experience? That's a word you only really hear on one side of the aisle. All right.
Luigi Mangione writhed and shouted on his way into a Pennsylvania courthouse Tuesday. Inside, his attorney contested his extradition to New York to face second-degree murder charges for the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors are undeterred.
Contesting it,
they're always working hard, just not quite on the things we want them to be working hard on.
They're just provides more hoops for law enforcement and prosecutors to jump through, but we're happy to do that.
The 26-year-old had far less to say coming out of court than going in. The judge denied his attorney's bail request, keeping Mangione in police custody in Pennsylvania, while prosecutors have a 30-day deadline to procure a governor's warrant for his extradition.
I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's a shooter.
But investigators say they are combing through a mountain of evidence. This photo from police body cam shows Mangione eating alone at an Altoona McDonald's Monday just before his arrest. Police say in addition to the fake New Jersey ID
shout out to Jersey,
consistent with what was used to check into the Manhattan hostel before the shooting, as well as a 3D printed ghost gun and suppressor, along with his passport and a 3-page handwritten document.
The handwritten note at which he expressed what's been described as anger at the insurance industry.
Have you guys seen the manifesto? I have not seen it yet, so I think we should dig into it. Zippy says, "Feds gonna fed. They need to hide Biden's dealings. Wonder what ties to the Bidens the poor CEO had. We may never know. We may never know." Yeah, those drones have been all over here. I mean, I would have done something on those. I mean, we could definitely take definitely take a look at some videos, but there's just, I mean, just like every other time. Oh, we got Morty joining us. Welcome to the party. Of course, guys, every donation comes with a treat for my co-host Morty. And don't forget about our swole goal, guys. 15 teal super chats, and you get what's the goal today? Oh, puppy peanut butter. Peanut butter for the puppy. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Where were we? Oh yeah, so let's check out the actual manifesto. So it says, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. Loser. To save you a lengthy investigation, I'll state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, and a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites had it coming. A reminder: the U.S. has the number one most expensive healthcare in the world. Yet we rank roughly 42 in life expectancy. United is in the indecipherable largest company, probably in the realm of the largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy. That's not really what insurance does, bro. But okay. No, the reality is these blank have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space and frankly do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed. Rosenthal more decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It's not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games are at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Newsweek contacted law authorities, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I mean, so first thoughts, at first, I respect what you do for our country, but also, oh, okay, these are different parasites. Okay. But yeah, so the first thing I noticed was when he said, has it grown our life expectancy? Like, if you were going after like food or specifically like medication companies or politicians who are making laws about that stuff, that would make sense. But that's not what insurance does. So why would I don't get it. And so let's see. Do we have a winner here? We do have a winner. We will head to Nancy Pelosi next. And then let's put up a new poll. And I want to all right, let me think about that for a second. Because I want to know what how you guys feel about this. Like, is this written by the shooter? Is he the shooter? All that kind of stuff. Very interesting, and it's really going to be hard to tell. So the manifesto have better grammar than what Zippy writes. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Carl said, ghost guns aren't the problem. Dangerous minorities are. Okay. Agree, disagree. Well, I mean, ghost guns are the problem, but whatever. Black Slimy said, cover the OF. We will get there. We will get there. Welcome to the party. And we also got King Nirvana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. So what am I trying to... all right, let's go back to the video. And let's see if I can... There's a question there, and I'm just not sure what it is. Shout out to Carl's Frosted Tips getting us started. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Said peanut butter for our Darth Lord Morty Vader. Makes you wonder if he's a Manchurian candidate type. Could be. You never know. You never know. But either way, we gotta get him fed. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you very, very much, sir.
Along with his passport and a 3-page handwritten document.
The handwritten note at which he expressed what's been described as anger at the insurance industry, where he has been quoted as calling them parasites.
The McDonald's where Mangione was arrested has now hired private security as employees told police they fear for their safety from threats.
Well, the one guy said, that looks like the shooter from New York.
Larry, a regular at that McDonald's, says he and his friends saw Mangione.
You saw that. Oh, that's recognizable. Okay.
Be there Monday and later talked to the employee who called police.
She said between his eyes and his eyebrows, she says, when I took his order, it was like she had in her mind, oh my God, this is a guy from New York.
And at one point during the hearing, Mangione's defense attorney was positing that his having several face masks in his backpack was not inherently suspicious because they could have been left over from COVID. And that's when
I like that. Let's start there. So actually, let's even start with, was Luigi the actual shooter? Was he, let's start there. Was he actually the guy, or was it somebody else and he's just a patsy? Doesn't mean that there can't be other corruption, of course, but let's just start there. How rich? I mean, he was an Ivy League guy, right? Ivy League engineer, so can't be that poor.
In his backpack was not inherently suspicious because they could have been left over from COVID. And that's when Mangione loudly interrupted to say that he had just bought those face masks. At that point, his attorney shushed his own client in front of the court and said, do not say a word. Mangione took his attorney's advice. From Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, Allie Bauman, CBS News, New York.
And come on, guys. We all know the #1 rule of talking to the cops or being in court, especially when you have a lawyer. Shut the fuck up.
Tonight, some new information in that 3-page document police say that Luigi Mangione was carrying, and they say that it points to why he wanted to kill. Dick Brennan here now with that part of the story. Dick.
Well, Christine, police sources are calling that 3-page.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, didn't we just read the entire thing? Wouldn't that be? But I forgot that was not in this.
Handwritten note as a claim of responsibility. They believe the suspect's grievances about United Healthcare and other insurance companies are what motivated the murder of Brian Thompson. And now they worry that extremists may follow suit. Police sources say in his note, Mangione rants against corporations for what he says is abusing the U.S. for immense profit. He refers to corporations as mafiosa that have gotten too powerful, and that others had shown a light on corporations' corruption and greed in the past, but wrote, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. NYPD official.
Are you though? Are you though? Are you though? Not really. Shout out to Am. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. Of course, nobody knows. We're trying. What your speculation? Welcome to the party. Black Slimy said, ghost guns are a sussy topic. I think the only equalizer to a gun is another gun, and I'm not worried about how they got it. And honestly, it's not like the serial number is on the bullets criminals kill with. Agreed. Agreed. Carl said he is a distraction planted by the government. Well, that's where we will go next. Let's get a few more votes in. We only got 5 votes in. Let's get at least 7. Let's move through these. There's a bunch of polls that I want to ask you guys.
Asked, but wrote, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. NYPD officials say they're concerned that Mangione could inspire wider violence.
There are also posters that we've seen online and...
Wait. Did I put that in there? Did you? What? Where's the other poll? We did. Wow. Did you? Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
There are also posters that we've seen online and in New York with various CEOs' pictures on them. These are perceived threats, and it is important for everybody to know that we will take these threats very seriously.
Now that Luigi Mangione is in custody, investigators here will move to lock down the case against him.
They're going to really piece that together to start to tell the story of everything that happened prior to the attack itself, and the moments afterwards.
And that will include attempts to...
Isn't it odd how much information we have about him compared to what was it, Matthew Crooks? That was the J13 Trump assassination guy, right? I don't even remember his name. Case in point. Why do we have so much information on this guy, yet we have absolutely nothing on the other guy? I don't get it. Shout out to Dixon. Welcome. Thank you. Said, I agree with KFT. Oh, KFT calls a frosted tip. There we go. Took me a second, but I found it. And of course, another treat for Morty. Thank you. That makes TSN the co-sponsors of the stream. Thank you so very, very much. Shout out to Not VLD. It's a plan. The feds used him. It's very, very, very possible. Very possible. When will we know? That's the real question. I got there eventually. Last time I said the guy that tried killing Trump was hired by those investigating him. Well, I mean, how do you know that he's not? We don't know. All right, so we got so most of you do think that he was the actual pewer. All right.
That happened prior to the attack itself, and the moments afterwards.
And that will include attempts to track every move Mangione made. Police say it appears he went to Pittsburgh and then Altoona after leaving New York, and he was concealing his movements using a signal blocking bag.
You can put your phone in there so we can't track your phone. It doesn't transmit a signal. It blocks the signal. In essence, it's like if you wrapped your phone in aluminum foil and put it in a bag.
There's also the question of Mangione's outburst at the courthouse. Was he trying to make a statement figuratively and literally?
And it's insult the intelligence of the American people.
Then he gets out of the car, and then he immediately has this outburst. So was that brought about by the fact that the cameras are on, the media was there, and it immediately put him into the role of wanting a lot of attention?
Police say Mangione spent days in New York before the shooting, and now they can further search for witnesses he may have had contact with.
As they were trying to apprehend him, they didn't have the ability to go out and cast a wide net on who else interacted with him. Now they can.
Yet they still found him. Lickety split. Shout out to Quam Tech. Welcome to the party. Good evening, Grinches and Grinchettes. Good evening to you, sir. Welcome.
And they have the luxury of time to slow down and find all of those additional individuals.
Now, Mangione's mother filed a missing persons report in San Francisco last month, part of concerns that the family had because they say he was not communicating. Christine.
All right, Dick. Thank you. People who know the suspect are sharing their shock, saying that the crime Luigi Mangione is accused of committing is really out of character. Lisa Rosner has reaction now from a high school classmate and a former roommate.
Christine, his friends are bewildered, asking what happened between the last few months when they couldn't reach him and the fatal shooting outside this Hilton.
I just feel heartbroken, somebody that I loved and cared about, that could have done something so hideous.
An emotional R.J. Martin reflects on his former roommate Luigi Mangione from 2022. As the founder of the Surf Break co-living community in Hawaii, Martin says he vetted Mangione to see if he'd be a good fit.
He wanted to be in Hawaii and stay healthy, experience different cultures. And the only times I noticed when he wasn't being social, I think, was when he was in severe pain. He was suffering from a spinal misalignment. Something had to do with his care back home. So he always was weighing on him.
Martin says
that seems to be the story that they're going with. Well, he had this injury and it couldn't get fixed, and so he went through with all this. Carl said he had a great plan going in, terrible escape plan. Well, of course, that then begs the question: was it a bad plan, or was he sitting Was he sitting around expecting everybody to, read his manifesto, or not? This was before that. Or was he sitting around hoping everybody be knowing exactly why he did what he did? And then, everybody's speculating this or that. Is it crazy person? Is it somebody with issues like he did have? So on and so forth. And so some are speculating that if you had a plan that good going in, stands to reason that you would want to get caught. But as we saw him getting pulled in, he was not happy about it. But he didn't really, deny, or he didn't really proclaim his innocence. He was just saying that this is bad. This is not for not in the interest of the American people, all that stuff. So you'd think that if he, if he's yelling out, he would say something, "It wasn't me, I didn't do it," or something like that. But so yeah, maybe that was the escape plan. Carry a Faraday bag when in the city. Yeah, that's and it's wild how they always, and it used to be like, okay, I'll turn my location on for using GPS because I actually need it. But now every app is just like, nope, we need to know where you are at all times. And it's just like, all right, well, either don't use your phone or permanently be followed. Millennial, I'm a millennial. That's not a real choice.
It had to do with his care back home. So he always was weighing on him.
Martin says Mangione facilitated deep conversations for the community's book club, which discussed the manifesto from the notorious Unabomber.
Never once thought of it that it would affect anyone's life or spur action for anyone in the group. Never once mentioned anything about violence. Never once did guns come up in a conversation.
Mangione studied engineering at the University of Pennsylvania and had ties to Stanford.
He really had everything going for him. He was one of the nicest kids.
Mangione comes from a prominent Maryland family that is involved in developing real estate there.
Someone's asking how rich he was. Comes from a good family, went to Ivy League. I mean...
Through a cousin who is also a state lawmaker in Maryland, the family released a statement saying in part it is shocked and devastated and asking people to pray for all those involved. In Midtown, Lisa Rosner, CBS News, New York.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, it is very weird that on the one hand, we're saying like, yeah, oh, this is clearly not just, well, we got one, looks like one person. We got one person saying just a lone wolf. It's exactly as they're presenting it, which is possible. Very unlikely, but it's possible. So that if that's the case, or rather, if it's not the case, when most of you are saying he's some type of plant from the government, if that's the case, and we look at the details of the Trump assassination, I don't know how that could not be. Okay, let's make that a poll. So, how should I? So I'm trying to ask if it was, the question I'm getting at is, why do we have so much information about Luigi if he's a government plant, and we have no information about Matthew Crooks because he definitely, not definitely, but most likely was a government plant? What is the difference, and what are they trying to do, and why are they trying to use these things in such different ways that beg these questions about the other case? It's really weird, really, really weird. Black Salami said, I think he may have wanted to end himself. A lot of people are angry about the COVID vaccine, and United Healthcare is one of the main purchasers and promoters of the vaccine. Hell, well, okay, maybe let's not say stuff like that out loud. Shout out to Am signing up as a member. Of course, that gets you full access to the Discord server. You already know what's good. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. Black Salami is on to say they want to fill us up with propaganda info to make it more easily believable. But that doesn't make sense. How is having a lot of information about one and no information about the other, where in the first one it seems a lot more likely that, or let's put it this way, it's a much harder sell. It's a much harder sell to make sure that what was I going to say? My brain's not working. Oh yeah, it's much harder to say that Matthew Crooks was working on his own. It's much easier to make Luigi the lone wolf. But if that's the case, again, why are we getting different levels of information? How does that make this or that more believable. Unless you're saying because we don't have any information on crooks, the fact that they're giving us information on Luigi, people are more likely to trust it. Maybe, but I really I don't know, man. That's the hardest part about all of this. Is it's so early. We don't even really know what's going on. So before we move on to Nancy Pelosi, you guys got to check. Yeah, right. Oh, shout out to Carl. Yeah, the Vegas guy as well. Just completely, just never heard about it again. Never. That was years ago. And again, completely forgot that that even happened. So what is the difference between those two and this one? I'm thinking maybe that they're specifically you know, a CEO that's connected to a lot of other money. I have no idea. It is tough. ZB said, sow the seeds of doubt in liberal debate parlors. Watch how they stop talking about tough things and become worse. Yes, men of the hive mind. Yep. Salami said he also had 2 shots to the back of his head, and they claimed self-deletion on the Vegas guy. Boo-ish. I've heard so many people talk about how they heard multiple, gunshots coming from multiple different places. So he said about this guy and the Vegas guy are government agents gone rogue. Very possible, but again, why? What benefit do they have by keeping that from us? Doesn't that give you credibility when you're like, okay, obviously we're not perfect. You know, this guy went rogue and we took him down immediately. Especially if we're talking about Luigi who was caught immediately. And so they don't want you to know if you're coming or going. Bingo. Yep. And so I'm telling you, these are all diversion tactics. Look over here, so you're not looking over there. Indeed. And this is exactly why I'm very glad that I'm not trying to be, a newscaster here, because this stuff happens. And, of course, we have lots of thoughts and stuff, but that's really all it is at this point. It's just speculation. Hopefully we will, again, as the more information that they put out, the more we have an anchor. So like with let's just talk about 9/11. So the fact that they gave us a narrative, a story with 9/11, then we can look at those things and use that as an anchor and see, is this real? Is that not real? Did these people actually, with the 19 people that they said the hijackers, were they actually on the plane? Were they actually doing this? Were they actually in flight school? And all that stuff. It gives us an anchor. When they don't give us anything, then, as you can tell, Matthew Crooks, gone. I don't even remember the name of the Vegas guy. Gone. Luigi, all over the news. Use his guy to push the ant. Yeah, but I feel like that's getting that the occurrence of things like this, I think, are becoming less and less and less effective. So they will push that until they will kick that horse until it's dead. But hopefully it is not working as well. We invaded Iraq over Syrian terrorists in 9/11. Make it make sense. Yep. All right, check this out, guys. It is I actually saw it on TikTok. But pretty cool.
That's News Nation's correspondent Alex Capriello standing by to do the big report for us tonight. So it's an interesting interaction you had with the inmates from over the chain link. Tell me about it, Alex.
So he's here at the jail.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable moment. And Ashley, I can tell you at this very moment, I can look over my left shoulder up at the top of this prison wall, see through a window and see that your face is right there. They're watching Banfield at this exact moment as they promised they would. All right, so let's backtrack.
I can see your face.
A little bit, okay? So earlier today, I was reporting outside this prison wall. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if you just heard that, Ashley. That was them screaming.
I just waved. Alex.
Headed out already. Thank you for stopping by, Kevin. You have a good one.
I just waved, and that was the...
Can you hear that?
Hi, guys. Say hello to Alex Capriello.
They said, we got you, Alex. Ashley says hello.
I can't believe this.
There they are. I can't tell if you can hear this.
We can hear it.
There you go.
Hi, guys.
Look up at that window.
Let me yell them a question. Alex, hold on. Let me yell a question.
So initially, this just struck me as like it's weird that we haven't really seen stuff like this before. We know that inmates have access to TV, and they do stuff outside of jails all the time. Maybe it's just the way that it's built in different jails and stuff. But I thought it was really interesting, and especially coming off a binge of 60 Days In, which again, if you guys have not seen it, I'm not sure that you're going to love it, but you definitely need to check it out. Because again, it's not just some standard jail documentary. They actually have like 8 volunteers, and they go in as undercover inmates, and they have mission. It's really cool. But it really highlights how, people who are in jail or locked up in prison or whatever really don't have a voice. Now, of course, most of them are there for a reason, but, for especially a jail as opposed to a prison, there's a lot of people who are legitimately innocent in there. And I just thought it was cool to, have them have a little bit of a voice, bro. That it's so good. They had seasons 1 and 2 are straight up just free on YouTube. They had seasons 3 and 4 on Pluto, I think, something else, and then a couple more on Netflix. So I'm up to season 7 out of 8, I think. And then they did Reckless. They did 60 Days in Narcoland. So in 60 Days In, they go in the prison, and they have like the warden and a few officers who know what's good. But all the other inmates, all the other officers have no idea what's going on. They tell them that the cameras are there for a regular jail type documentary. And it's wild. And it's just you forget. Even having, myself been in jail for a very short period of time, and having friends who've been locked away, it's easy to literally forget about them, and they're just stuck. And so I thought it was really cool. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Well, like I said, you see the black dude that tried to act like he was taking over the place. I think he got called out pretty quick, if I remember. Well, there's like mad seasons and mad black dudes trying to take over pretty quick. I think I might know what you're talking about. But yeah, it's actually, I do remember what you're talking about. Yep. Was it the guy who went in? That was season 1 and season 2 where he went in both, right? I don't know. Either way, great show. Definitely check it out. All right, let's hear from my boys behind ball.
If you can hear me clearly, okay. Do you guys have any sights on Luigi Mangione? Just yell yes or no. I don't know if they're answering.
They're flickering. They're saying no.
No sights on Luigi.
They don't have sights. Okay. You'll have to translate, Alex.
So Luigi's watching right now.
All right, so earlier today, I was reporting outside these prison walls when all of a sudden I heard my name, and I couldn't tell if they were, catcalling me or heckling me or even saying my name whatsoever. And so I started reporting on Luigi Mangione's prison conditions as I was finding them out. And as soon as the live shot was over, that's when I turned around and they said, the conditions suck. And so that was my confirmation. Oh my gosh, they're watching News Nation at that very moment. I pulled out my camera, I recorded, and here's more of that interaction. Take a look from earlier today.
Free Luigi. Luigi loves News Nation. Why do you think they're so? I mean, I guess they're not speaking for everybody. It's just one person, but I wouldn't necessarily thought to say free Luigi. Oh yeah, they got TVs.
Ashley, they're going nuts in there right now watching this video on playback. This was just from a few hours ago, and here they are, 10 o'clock as promised. They said earlier today, tell Ashley Banfield that Luigi is watching at 10 o'clock. I mean, obviously, that's just a hard roast at this point because they're not near Luigi in any way, as confirmed by the Department of Corrections earlier today. But at the same time,
she goes in and asks him a bunch of questions. It's pretty cool.
picked a trusted news source to watch this very high-profile national case. Of course, they're watching us.
It's crazy.
on
Hey,
Newsmax.
Alex, can I ask you a favor? Can I just ask the guys if they can hear me right now to answer yes or no very loud? Does Luigi have television in his single cell?
That's quite a delay. That's quite a delay. Like, I get it that, you know, satellites and stuff, but that's quite a delay.
No.
Unreal. They said no, right? Obviously, we have a little bit of a delay, but they're getting they're getting the questions and they're giving us the answers. So Luigi does not have. Wow, this is quite something. This is the strangest interview I've ever conducted.
It's me too, Ashley. You know, according to the Department of Corrections, he's got his own solitary cell. It's not solitary confinement, but he's by himself. It's not dorm style. I'm not sure exactly what those guys got going on in terms of a living situation. It sounds like they're all clustered together. But as far as Luigi's accommodations, he's by himself. He's got a bed. He's got a chair. He's got a toilet, a sink. Again,
okay. So I'm going to read out the menu, and then I'm going to ask the guys if it was any good, the dinner tonight. So the breakfast was fruit, grits, bread, eggs, and coffee. He had the choice. The lunch was porcupine meatballs, potatoes, bread, and fruit. And tonight's dinner, mac and cheese, pasta bean casserole, and stewed tomatoes with broccoli. So guys, was dinner good? Yes or no?
I don't know, man. They need him. They need him. He's a patsy.
What
terrible,
are
they're saying.
I heard terrible. I heard terrible.
They're saying heck no. They're saying BS. They're saying terrible. They're saying that's not what they are eating.
Oh man, I totally can't get over this. I'm going to explain what porcupine meatballs are in a little bit, just not right now. Okay, I need to get to some serious business. Guys, you're going to have to just listen to the report up there. You got to give Alex a moment apiece for a second. I got business to do here. It's about your neighbor who's in that institution with you up there.
Shout out to Holly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She did say that. I was like, what? Was that on the menu? I think I missed that part.
Business to do here.
Welcome.
It's about your neighbor who's in that institution with you up there. So the Altoona police, they say that there were threats made to officers by the members of the public for having arrested Luigi Mangione, and maybe some citizens as well had threats that they're investigating. Have they made any identifications on people who've made these threats to police officers and to citizens, maybe the McDonald's employees?
No, and they're considering this all a part of the larger investigation, so they're keeping a pretty tight lid on that. What they do say, though, is that their officers are receiving threats, and also the people at this McDonald's have received threats. In fact, I've seen reporting that maybe even some of these McDonald's employees have been asked to step away for a time, just so that way they don't get increasing pressure. And this really all has...
Shout out to our boy Nick Luchetti in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. They are doing a news report right outside the jail where Luigi Mangione is, and asking direct questions to the inmates. Welcome to the party.
Has to do with this sort of fanfare and mythology that's surrounding Luigi at this point. There's so many people online that are supporting him for his actions due to their own complaints with the healthcare industry as a whole, or even
that's our next poll.
We've seen some people just commenting on his looks and how handsome he is, and so he's built up this following, so to speak. And so there's threats being made towards these police officers for actually going out there and apprehending him. But then also this McDonald's is now caught in the fire too, because it was the location that he was caught. So much so that it's also received just incredible negative feedback and reviews online. I've seen it plummet, 1-star reviews for this one specific McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. People saying that it got rats, and just doing whatever they can to sort of support Luigi and you know, bash everyone else that got in the way.
Yeah. Okay. Other question here about.
All right. So, do you support Luigi? And what I mean by this is, assuming he was the one to pull the trigger, assuming you know, everything from what we've seen is legit. We know that it's just for assuming that. Are you, you know, clearly a lot of the left and a lot of the prisoners, it kind of missed me for a second. I forgot that there were people legitimately cheering this. So are you cheering on with him? Are you like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, I get it. You shouldn't have done that. But I mean, I get it. Or not at all. Zippy said, I do not. Wrong target. Agreed.
Some wanted posters that have shown up all around New York City, putting other CEOs' faces up, other healthcare executives' faces up, saying that, you know, these guys are wanted too, and then putting the big red X over.
Insane. Is this one checked off the list?
Brian Thompson.
Yikes.
Is there any word on whether this is something more sinister or just, you know, really, really tacky freedom of speech?
Tacky freedom of speech. I like that.
Yeah, it's sinister at the very most and distasteful at the very least. These are being seen on parts of lower Manhattan, not just...
I do not condone or this comment. I promise.
Brian Thompson, but other CEOs of Fortune 500 and mega companies. Basically, it's not hitting or landing very well with the people of Manhattan. Obviously, they're still trying to come to grips with what just happened 1 week ago, right in their city in broad daylight. And so basically what we've seen is many people are pulling these down, shredding them, and getting rid of them. So rightfully so, this seems to be a threat towards others, but no authenticity to them. It does not seem as if this is a real hit list, so to speak.
Okay.
Let's get this poll is split a little bit more evenly than I thought. Let's get 2 more votes before we call it. Shout out to Box. Welcome. Good to see ya. Good to see ya.
I have another question for
They're checking out. They are this report. They're right outside the jail where Luigi Mangione is, and they're talking directly to the inmates that are watching them on TV.
Guys behind you. Okay. Can I pop it out there? Hey, guys, don't yell until I finish the question.
Go ahead.
So the question is about Luigi
Take control, girl. Take control of those inmates.
Mangione. He's fighting extradition, so he's going to be in that jail presumably for a little bit longer, but eventually he's going to end up going to Rikers. I don't know how many guys behind you in the walls there have been to Rikers, but it's a bit of a hellhole. So the question I have for the guys, if you could just yell stay or go, do you think that Luigi should just, you know, waive extra?
What do you think they're going to say? Do you think that they're going to say he should stay in their jail and fight whatever, or he should just go through extradition and head to Rikers and get the wheels moving? You think stay or go?
Extradition and get on with the process and go to Rikers, or should he stay in that prison, Huntington, with the rest of you guys there in Pennsylvania? So it's either stay or go. Just yell that out. And again, we have a little bit of a delay.
Go. They are all saying go.
Alex,
and so again, it sounds like they are in support of him. They sound like they're in support of him. Zibby said, stay. Holly said, I'm still trying to figure out why he kept the gun and manifesto on him. Nobody does that. Screams off to me. Or he's a buffoon. And that's exactly what we were talking about before. Somebody said he had a great plan going in, but not such a great exit plan. But it seems like that was set up. Somebody who was so smart and so surgical about the way that they did this to be so sloppy. Now, just because you pulled something like, you know, who knows how long he was planning that. So the fact that he did pull it off doesn't mean he's not, you know, that he's some amazingly genius person. And even smart people do dumb things. But yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Box said, I think he was expecting to be caught. But even if that was the case, it makes no sense. It was a statement. Yeah, we had the poll before. Do you think he was a lone wolf or working for the government? So we said he is a martyr. Why would he need to hide anything? Well, he's not a martyr if he doesn't die. Why would he hide anything? You mean he's trying to be a martyr? I don't know. We never know.
I could hear them saying go. Was it go? Are they saying go?
Yep.
They're saying go. They're saying go. They say get on with it. Go to Rikers Island.
Wow. You know.
And so, I mean, I'm not shedding a tear for the spirit of the attempt, but murder is not okay. People should revolt against the asset management companies that manage these company profiles and impose proxy priorities. Agreed. Completely agreed. So let's, we got 8 there. Boom. So most of you said no, but a lot of you are like, I kind of get it. Nobody said yes. I'm glad that nobody said yes. Yeah, I was like, I'm also not a fan of killing people, whether it be myself or other people doing it. Agreed. And since when does every shooter have a manifesto? This is odd and mainly recent. Fair. However, I think once that becomes a thing, that it makes sense that if you are going to do this, again, assuming for the sake of argument, if we were to assume that everything we've been told is accurate, it would make sense that like, oh, yeah, I should do that. I should write out exactly what I want people to know about this. It also speaks to the internet age where everybody's got to tell everyone exactly what they think. But it is definitely you're definitely right that it never was a like an expected thing. You know, when the what was it in Texas with the trans shooter, we were like, all right, hand it over, because we know that's the name of the game now. The music government is the end all be all. They allow the corruption. Yep.
No, I wonder if they mean go because they say that the place they're in right now is a hellhole, maybe worse. But I don't know. I mean, Rikers is pretty bad. We got the comparison coming up. One of the inmates.
I'm not sure if you heard them say it just now when I was talking about the threats of rats in McDonald's. Somebody just said they got rats in here too. So it seems they're not very happy with the food here or the accommodations.
Yeah, but I would be surprised if so many of them were that invested in which jail Luigi was in just for his own comfort. It seems like there would be a reason why him being there. Like, I'm sure that, they had to do lockdown type procedures, and they're not as free. Like he said, it looks like they're all grouped together, so it's probably dorm set up, but they're probably locked down because of this type of stuff. Whatever the case may be, it's that speaks to probably why they want him out of there. Box said Biden pardons Clemency PDF files, but did not commute the 40 people on death row. Make it make sense. Oh, we are definitely gonna get there. We have a couple people that I want to highlight from that list that it's just like, come on, man. I don't know, man. Don't know. So we must fight the BlackRock elites. They are the mega cucks keeping everyone's money down. Indeed. All right, let's dive back in here.
Rats in here too, so it seems they're not very happy with the food here or the accommodations. Maybe we need to send an email to the Department of Corrections about that for tomorrow morning.
Any last comments you can hear from the guys there? And maybe just swing the camera up and see if you can see the shot that you showed me before.
Can you swing the camera up there, Greg? They want to try to see.
Yeah, the view that you're seeing, so we can see where the guys are.
How dope would that be? You're literally in jail and you never see anything like that, and then you're literally on TV. That's got to be cool.
So go ahead, see those flashing lights?
Yeah, zoom in if you can. Is that Greg, your cameraman? Just zoom in as much as you can. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to.
Box, do you remember this guy's name?
Be able to see any faces in those windows, but rest assured, gentlemen, we can absolutely hear you.
But isn't that interesting?
Ashley, you got your interview. Are you guys doing the strobe light for us? Is that the strobing that was for us?
That's what I'm saying, so. Ashley. Isn't it interesting to see what accommodations that they have? They got their own light switches.
Accommodations.
They're watching TV.
They're all doing
past
it.
any sort of 10 o'clock curfew, Yep, they're doing this for you. They're watching
Alex.
News Nation at this very moment.
They're putting on that. They're all flicking their cell lights on and off. No, keep the camera over there. I want to see how many there are. That's fascinating to me. Greg, can you pan back over?
I keep seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm counting.
Pan back over. I want to just see how many of them are
5, 6.
Doing their strobe lights for us. All right. Well, I do want to say thank you, guys. I really appreciate all of you giving us your attention and also answering our questions as hard as it was. You certainly were You certainly were heard tonight. We're getting this again. If you're just tuning into News Nation right now, this is the prison inmates.
That's kind of what we're talking about. And then did we have everything there? There was one other thing. No, we want to go to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, where are you, Nancy?
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi fell.
All right. So before we move on to that, yeah, I agree. That's why I wanted to show it to you guys, because just a little bit different than what you normally see, and giving some context to what they are, what they're saying, and I don't know, just very interesting. Shout out to Indie Film. Welcome to the party. Says she seems very excited about all the prisoners watching her on TV. Well, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be like, oh, this is cool, we're interacting, and they're in prison, and I'm in a studio. I think that's cool. Yeah, Rikers is fucked. I have friends who spent some time there, and again, it's not very good. Did I do a Pelosi voice? I played this started. Did she say something?
Former House Speaker.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Did I do that? I don't remember. Anyway, moving on. Apparently, a girl, she fell down some stairs. No, it wasn't some stairs, but she fell and broke her hip. Yo, bitch!
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi fell and broke her hip during a congressional trip to Luxembourg, according to multiple reports. Pelosi was part of a bipartisan delegation commemorating the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge when the incident occurred. Her spokesperson, Ian Krager, confirmed that she had been admitted to a hospital for an injury, but did not disclose any details about the incident that led to that.
This guy does not even seem like he wants to be there. Quantex says, is there any real evidence to the shooter's political affiliation? I've had a bad feeling about people like Tim Pool just straight up calling him a leftist. Agreed. I don't know. I don't know if we've gotten anything specific. We definitely have, the type of language that he used both in the manifesto, talking points like, well, we're first in or most expensive healthcare, but 42nd in health. And that's that more of a left-wing talking point. And then when he was yelling about, the American people and their lived experience, those are things that you're not typically going to hear a normal person or anywhere to the right of normal speak that way. Is that a silver bullet that, oh yeah, he's a lefty? Absolutely not. But we will see. Box said, go towards the light, Nancy. Just go. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
For an injury, but did not disclose any details about the incident that led to that. Pelosi, who remains active in her duties, expressed gratitude to veterans and the people of Luxembourg for their role in World War II.
Thank you, Luxembourg.
However, she will miss the remainder of the trip's engagements, her spokesman Ian Krager said in a statement.
Yeah, and Box, you're absolutely right. Like once, how old is she? She's like 70, right? Oh, that's type. Nancy Pelosi. 84. Why did I think she was so much? Okay, all right. She's 84. Yeah, almost 85. So yeah, March 1940. Wild. So yeah, at that age, probably not getting any better. Now, I mean, it's not like you need to do a lot of physical activity to be a raging bitch to steal from the American people, but one can hope that she decides this is a good time to step away. Probably not though, right? Answer, not that I'm aware, not that I'm aware of, but that's not a left-wing talking point. It's the disassociation of cost and service. They don't equate. Thanks, Obama.
Come on, man.
The remainder of the trip's engagements, her spokesman Ian Krager said in a statement. The injury comes as Pelosi reportedly works to block Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's bid for a top Democratic position on the House Oversight Committee, favoring Virginia Representative Jerry Connolly instead. The New York Times reported that Pelosi had fallen and broken her hip while at the Grand Palace Ducal during the co-delegation trip. CNN later confirmed that she had suffered a fall. This news follows concerns about the age of health of America's political leaders. Just days ago, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, aged 82, suffered a fall, reigniting debates about the capacity of aging politicians.
I forgot about that. I forgot Mitch McConnell also had a fall, and this was before his freeze up, where he just These people are too goddamn old. And I mean, if this isn't an argument for term limits, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And we were talking the other day about how politicians should not be allowed to trade stocks. Like what was, did they list her worth? No, that's not net worth. And they say these are always wrong, but let's just take a look. How much money do I have? $46 million. Jesus Christ. $100 million. $100 million as of 2018. That was before the largest wealth transfer in the history of humanity. Am said healthcare in isolation is more lefty, but the ranking and cost, yep. Buck said, how do you win that many races without it being rigged? Well, I mean, that's the obvious answer is that you don't. But the more practical question is this: that once you have so much power, then like who's going to run and win against Nancy Pelosi? Like, yeah, no. Term limits are dumb. Just vote gooder. Okay, but people don't. If we did, then we wouldn't be talking about 19 terms, would we? This is like the thing where they talk about the RPEG, and they'll say, we don't need to teach women about boundaries. You just need to teach your boys not to RPEG. Like, never done that before. I'm gonna bet nobody in this chat has either. So that's not really a solution, unfortunately.
Age 82 suffered a fall, reigniting debates about the capacity of aging politicians. Pelosi is currently 2 years older than the Senate Minority Leader. Currently, 6 senators and 16 House members are in their 80s, with Senator Chuck Grassley at 90, holding the title of the oldest U.S. politician. The incident underscores growing calls for generational change in Congress as the nation grapples with an aging leadership.
For more stories like these, be sure to subscribe to the New York Post.
All right, so one more. Let me get rid of some of these. And I got one thing right quick here, and then we will go.
NBA or NFL?
All right, this was it. This blew my mind. So this was a I don't know exactly.
Yes, which is it? Is it NBA or?
God damn it! Where are we? So yeah, this was right in line with the corruption and why exactly we need term limits. This blew me away. Actually, well, let's just.
36 have been accused of spousal abuse.
So is he talking about the NFL, or is he talking about the NBA?
Which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit.
71.
14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year.
Why would you do that, Box? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, cool, you got it, bro. Ruin it for everyone else. Well, I guess we don't need this anymore. Thanks, bro. All right, what else were we talking about? I was going to use that time to fucking put up the next poll, but fuck me, right? Fuck me. Why would I want to share anything when you can just tell everybody what it's all about? All right. What else do we have here? So we got Daniel Penny. We got the copycat, the Luigi copycat. We can go into the Joe Biden clemency picks. Or What's our fourth option here? Oh, the CNN fake prisoner. All right, let's go in. Yeah, so they're all a bunch of criminals. That was the punchline. Yeah, well, you were making a joke. Wait, he knew, and I had to say it 3 to 4 times. Come on, man. Where are we? Here. Looking at Joe Biden. Clemency? What did I say for Clemency? We got this bitch here. Let's give it another. Oh, we're moving to the CNN prisoner. CNN prisoners taking the lead. Which is the next story? Which story would you like to cover next? Shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome to the party. We got Matthew King. Welcome to the party. We are tied. One more vote. The next vote breaks it. Next vote. Well, unless it doesn't break it, but next breaking vote wins is what I meant. Let's go. Pelosi likes her goosey as loose as a broken rubber band. Yep. And fake prisoner wins. Did I not save that here? Could have sworn I saved it. Nope. This one, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm stupid. I'm gullible because it took me 2 watches to actually be like, hold on a minute here.
Of his brutal reign, CNN's
A shout out to Funk Master General. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Guys, that's 3 out of 15. Let's get Morty his peanut butter. It's been so long. We have not hit a goal all week, guys. Let's do this. I know you love Morty more than you love me. Do it for him. All right, check this out.
Our world leader, Syria's new rebel leaders say they will not pardon Assad regime officials who tortured and killed prisoners during the decades of his brutal reign. CNN's Clarissa Ward went to a Syrian prison to find someone still locked in a cell with no idea that Assad's regime had fallen.
So, in case you hadn't heard, Assad's regime in Syria has fallen. And apparently, this is news.
Deep in the belly of the regime's Air Force intelligence headquarters,
these are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012.
Shout out again to Funk Master General taking up that co-sponsor spot. Thank you.
It's one of many secret prisons across the city. This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned out.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
We'll watch first.
I can't tell though. It might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked.
Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door. We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone.
Hello?
Okay, it's just a little.
What do you guys notice?
So,
what do you notice? What is there? What is not there? What is going on here?
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's one.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Does anyone have any water? Water. بدي مي. Okay, it's water. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
We start to walk him outside.
What else you guys notice?
Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light.
So let's go through what you guys are saying here and take a little bit of a closer look. Black Salami said, you know it's staged because she doesn't have a hijab on, or she would be actually slaughtered in the region due to Islam. Well, they're in an abandoned thing. She has the thing around her, her neck. So, I mean, I agree that it's staged, but not for that reason. Far too clean. Far too clean. Let's get him right back. Well, yeah, let's. Well, I mean,
You're okay.
What? You're telling me a Syrian man and whatever, an Arab man has been in there for 5 months, and that's the length of his beard? As I said, the cell is too clean, the prisoner is too clean, and he looks reasonably healthy. You're gonna tell me that this is 3 months in a prison cell? Grontek made a good call out here. Stood up like he was called to attention. Bit too quick for solitary confinement for multiple months.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
Right up. No, just one little push, and he's right up. There's one other big thing. Generally, yes, definitely looking normal. Dylan said, I'm sure it's real, but it feels as sincere as a streamer chasing clout for helping the homeless. Why are you? What makes you say it's real? Bach said Clarissa Ward is a badass. I really do respect her, but this is not a good look. Yeah, I don't know. All right, fair enough. Exactly. Keep them pretty trimmed up. We were just talking about this the other day. I just tried to pull together. I just tried to look for the picture where somebody recorded CNN staging a photo with a protest. They had a bunch of protesters there, maybe like 10 or 15, but they gathered them all and layered it, and so it made it seem like it was going further back. Just straight up bullshit. Shout out to Behave. Welcome to the party. Says CNN takes fake news to the next level. Think about how even though we were distrusting of the media in general, and I'll definitely give you guys more credit than myself personally, but in general, we always knew that the establishment is against us, right? But I still would have never thought that this was like just completely fake before Trump started saying fake news. It's fake news. Gontek said I wouldn't even stand up that quick when I was comfortable in my own home. Yeah, right. They're saying 5 days with no water. There's no way he would be all jacked up after 5 days. Well, you know the rule of threes. No, you die 3 days, no water, 3 weeks, no food, and I forget what the third one is. But yeah. So I mean, technically, if the temperature and the environment there isn't the worst, you might not be dead after 5 days, but you are not standing up at attention or at all. Then, so Dylan said, no, I don't think it's real, but I do allow for that microscopic piece of imaginary doubt. Fair enough. There's two other things that were not mentioned. Let's go all the way back to where he gets right here. Actually, no. There's three more things. Three more things I'm specifically looking for that are just sus.
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Why? Why? Why would you not want to get that on camera? Exactly. Dylan said, I think it's 100% real, just like I believe that any sane person would allow Hassan Piker to enter the halls of Oxford without pushback.
What?
What does believing something and allowing somebody to do something have to do with each other? Behave, so they make offensively fake news. Fake news that's so fake news, it's as if they think we are the dumbest of all dumb.
Bingo.
They do. They do. And the numbers are going down, but there are significant numbers of people who watch this and believe it. That is where TDS came from. Ontek said, Salvador, she's speaking English. I don't know the third one, but that was, was it last night? Or no, yeah, last night's Timcast. I was listening in the car today. And for anything you want to say about Tim, he's definitely been in real life Civil War scenarios. And he was telling a story about how one time, let's see if I can, is it worth finding it? Is it worth finding it? No, it's not worth finding it. It was basically just saying one time he was on assignment with some other dude. It was two Americans. They were in a different country, and they were, I don't know if they were getting held up or they were, being questioned, or there was a somewhat precarious situation. And Tim was like, yeah, I just, just put my hands up and don't say anything. And the other guy was trying to explain himself. He was like, yo, we're just here. And Tim was saying, bro, you got to just shut up. They don't speak English. And so if they don't speak English and you're just rattling off, then it sounds like that's not common. So just shut up. Yeah, so definitely speaking English. There's two more that I personally noticed. Let's go through and continue to watch it. I said, even if they did cut it, why say it out loud like that? Most people don't notice cuts. Exactly. CNN, not again. CNN, not your friend. There we go. That was the one for me. Wait until he goes outside. He hasn't seen the sun in months. There's a window in his cell. He walks out and doesn't squint at all. At all. There's one more that I noticed. There might be more, but let's see. It has to do with the cell. We're in the cell.
We go in to get a closer look.
Oh, actually, there's another one. There's right here. One of them's right here.
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
So you're telling me you're in a Syrian prison in a wartime with a prison guard, and you just walked into a cell by yourself as a woman in Syria? Okay, dude. One more. There's one more in this cell.
Is there someone there?
As if he wouldn't have heard that. As if he didn't just hear the gunfire. They just said they shot the door open. Box said they'd already cleared the whole ass prison. What? What is this? What's context for this? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're connecting that to. But yeah, is someone there? Come on.
It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there?
And again, like you guys said, speaking English.
Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
So Box said this was after the prison was cleared, like a day after. So that goes to what I was saying about the head covering. So that it's not like an active place. The idea was the Bros was not a prisoner. Very, very possible. I mean, it's not LA, so probably not. But he's more likely just an actor. But yeah, so that goes to why I was thinking the head covering wasn't a thing. But it's fucking clean in there. I didn't see a bucket. Did you see a bucket? I didn't see a bucket. And they said searching a prisoner, and the reporter is the first one in the cell. Dude is in prison for a reason. So they send the white woman to see what happens. Exactly. Buck said people were tearing this place apart for hours and hours before this. It's so quiet in there. So yeah, like they either would have found him, or if he was actually a prisoner, or he would have heard, it being silent and then a gunshot at his door. They specifically told us that they shot the door open. I mean, it's not like you can see the door is right there. How would you not hear that?
Or is it just blank? I don't know.
Hello?
Okay,
And still nothing.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
Right up. And again, look, not a stain on this thing. Not a stain on this thing.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps. He's been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay.
3 months.
You're okay.
And he popped up super easy,
You're okay.
but now he can't even walk.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. Mike. Okay, it's water. It's water.
Even his voice is too strong. Like he's, wait. That's not how you would talk 5 days without water.
Mike.
20 minutes at most while they were setting up and walking through the hall. That's how long he's been in there.
Mike. Okay, it's water.
See, that's just, it's too breathy. You don't have that much, Listen to it again one more time.
Mike. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay.
And maybe a nitpick, but anytime I've seen somebody like really, really, really dehydrated, thirsty, like you're going in and you are closing. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh God. He's just, I prefer Perrier.
Okay, you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. His tongue would be swollen, face would be sunken, chugging water would kill him. I saw on, I forget exactly which show it was, but Outlast or one of these outdoor competition shows, exactly that happened. There's a bunch of teams. They go in a remote place in Alaska, and they just have to, whoever survives the longest wins. And one team, they weren't able to get fresh water very easily. And they were trying to find a spot. They found a stream, and they all drank it. But one girl was going in. And of course, she was so sick, she had to leave the competition. So, bullshit. All right, let's put up the next. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just going to choose what I want.
You're okay. You're okay.
We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third.
He said, I'm an LVN. He's not dehydrated. Pinch his skin, and if the skin springs back, he's not dehydrated. Again, you can see it, like with the makeup of how, like, it's not. I'm not saying he's got a chubby face, but there's fat in his face. That would all be like you would see dark lines under his eyes. His face would be sunken in. I mean, unless he was 700 pounds, then maybe. But even still. Those clothes are too goddamn clean. He must have hung them up every day for that 5 months. And then just that day, he was like, you know what? Today is the day. Today is the day. I'm going to die here. So I'm putting on my jacket and my jeans, and I'm just going to cover it up, and that's it. Maybe. Believe nothing except that anything is possible. Bunk said it happened in Nazi camps too. When they tried to help them with food and water, it killed them. Yep. Indeed. And it's sad, but yeah, that's and again, not to say that it's a good thing if this were real, that he was, not going too hard to kill himself. That's not what I'm saying. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Yeah, his skin are not so. Yeah, look at the. Can we get? I mean, My lips are drier than his. My lips are drier than his.
Third prison they brought me to, he says. It's the third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
And then, like, straight up. And then, actually, I heard somebody else say...
After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can...
She looks up before he does.
Finally see the sky.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, she looked over here. But still, like, again, you cannot just eyeball the sky after fucking 5 months of not seeing it. Was it 3 months, 5 months, 1 month, 5 days? That would take days for you to be able to just look at the sky. Yeah, right. I mean, maybe we're the prisoners. Maybe we're the prisoners. Looks like he just came back from eating dinner. Yeah, it's just absolute bullshit. Again, see that strong voice.
Oh God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. Oh my God, there is light.
Let's see the interview. Let's see it.
Stay with me, stay with me, he repeats again and again. For 3 months, I didn't know anything about my family. I didn't hear anything about my children. The fighter hands him something to eat. He can barely lift it to his mouth. His body can't handle it. Okay, you're okay. His captors fled during the fall of Damascus, leaving him with no food or water. That was at least 4 days ago.
At least.
I'm shaking. My face is shaking, he says.
Oh, no.
The rebel tells him if there's no more army, no more prisons, no more checkpoints. Are you serious, he says?
Syria
Syria Harra. Syria is free.
Oh, no, what's happening? Oh, that's right. Hold on. All right. Okay. Yeah, and again, yeah, I mean, just look, his veins are full. His veins are full.
It's the first time he has heard those words.
Well, they said, fact check, he was a prisoner there. They released him months ago and then brought him back to film the segment. CNN wasn't lying, except for the lying. Omission is a lie. How much longer is it?
He tells us his name is Adil Khurbal, and that officers from the much-feared Mukhabarat intelligence services took him from his home and began interrogating him about his...
Again, not a scuff, not anything that would imply that he's been on the ground in these.
Phone. They brought me here to Damascus. They asked me about names of terrorists, he says. Did they hit you, the fighter asks. Yes, yes, he says.
Not anymore.
As a paramedic arrives, the shock sets in. There's nothing. Everything's okay. The Red Crescent is coming to help you, this man assures him. You are safe. Don't be afraid anymore. Everything you are afraid of is gone. Tens of thousands of Syrians have disappeared in Assad's prisons. Up until 15 minutes ago, Adil Khurbal was one of them. He is still petrified. Don't be afraid, the ambulance worker reassures him. Every car I got into, they blindfolded me, he says. It is
Now the crocodile tears. Oh, the crocodile tears. Please. Maybe it's from the trauma of reliving when he actually was a prisoner. He said, bullshit. Big pile of heaping bullshit. What's that smell? CNN shit all over the place. CNN is proceeding to wipe its shitty ass all over their viewers. Shit everywhere. Massive pink eye incoming. God damn. I'm empty. Hold on. I'll give you a proper dilly. A proper dilly. With a drinky drink. Don't forget about Morty, guys. He's hungry. He's looking every time he hears the bell. He's like, "Is that for me? Is that for me? We're poor." All right, to behave. Dilly. Yeah, damn. Yeah, so it's all true except for the parts they lied about. Yup. Morty loves you guys all. All right, let's see what else he is saying here. And then there's a short story, and then we'll jump to the Clemency.
Every car I got into, they blindfolded me, he says. It is the end of a very dark chapter for him and for all of Syria. But so many ghosts remain.
Jake, I have to say, I have been doing this job for nearly 20 years now, and that really was one of the most extraordinary moments that I have ever witnessed. We don't know why the regime of Bashar al-Assad took Adil Khubar. He doesn't know why they took him. He was basically living a very simple life in the city of Homs in an area called Khaldiya. He said the Mukhabarat basically came to his house and said that there was some issue with people he had been making phone calls with. But we have to be very clear here. This is the type of thing where the Mukhabarat would take anyone with impunity. They would detain them. They would interrogate them. They would beat them. They would keep them for months, years on end. They didn't have to give a reason. You didn't even have to be an activist. You didn't even have to be part of the opposition against Bashar al-Assad. So many of the...
All right. We get it. But I don't know, but it feels racist. I don't know about racist, but definitely condescending, definitely arrogant, and bullshit. Yeah, I mean, just CNN being CNN. The fact that after everything we've seen over the last 8 years, that all of their ratings have been built on Trump. The fact that just their name has been smeared, and they're still willing to do this. It seems like they're just like, oh, okay, people are gonna hate us, except for the people that the old people that don't know any better. I feel like that's it. Hey, shout out to Funk Master General. Thank you so very, very much. Said I'm really enjoying this. Thank you for admitting you're naive and gullible. This episode is really going to come in handy next time you try arguing with me. What was I gullible about? Okay. Thank you. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you very, very much. Stealing the sponsor spot. Thank you, sir. Let's get rid of these motherfuckers. And we got boy. So maybe we'll do a hybrid with the goal thing here. Maybe we'll do a hybrid where the goal can be either 15 teal or higher super chats, or if we get to $65. If we get to $65, that will achieve our goal. Thank you to Funk Master General. Thank you. Hey, said if you're into weird-ish porn, just watch CNN. You are on it. Shout out to Baby Mahara. Welcome. Said LeBron James needs to be investigated. He was in Diddy's parties. Yep, lock them all up. Investigate them all. Mock said old CNN was better. Ted Turner could fix this. I don't know. But a gifted membership. Thank you so very, very much. Shout out to Jimmy the Drunk. You are now a disciple. Make sure you join the Discord. You now have full access. So I'm going to put a poll up, and I'm going to trust you guys not to hit the poll until we have something specific to give you an answer. I'm putting it up. I'm putting it up so that you guys have an idea of what we're looking for. But don't hit the poll until you have a good reason to ask it. Sure, let's do the subs. Let's do that. So we are right now at 34 plus. I'm bad at math. What's 35 plus? Those are what? 36. 36 plus 6 is 42. 42. We're at 42. All right, $42. We are $42. Let's do it. LeBron has he been saying stuff? What point me in a direction. I want to see it. All right, guys. Wait. So what had happened was this woman was arrested. And I hate you. Whoever did that, I hate you. Shout out to Negus, or if I pronounce that incorrectly. Indeed, I do like Trump. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. So yes, is this free speech? Or nah?
The people, Jake, who.
Oh no, are we starting to get some
The
copycats?
nature of the threats, we would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
With her head in her hands, Briana Boston learned she would be held in jail on $100,000 bond. The Polk County judge adding the bond was appropriate given the, quote, status of our country.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
I mean, certainly with all of the hullabaloo around Luigi, you would definitely not want to be going around shooting CEOs right now, or really anybody, but specifically CEOs.
Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor says his department was contacted by the FBI Tuesday. Authorities say in a recorded phone call about a denied insurance claim, Boston told a Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, quote, delay, deny, depose. You people are next, end quote. The language matches the words police say were written on the shell casings found at the United Healthcare CEO's murder scene in New York City.
So first, she said the exact thing on that was written on the bullets. Well, check out what she did next.
We'll take this very seriously, and we will put you in jail if you do something like this. It is not a joke.
According to Boston's affidavit, the mother of three told police she did.
Mother of three, dude. Oh my gosh.
Mother of three, and you're going out and doing this kind of stuff?
Firearms and was not a danger to anyone. But she added, healthcare companies played games and deserved karma because they are evil.
Oh, so she just said that. She just said it over the phone. She said over the phone, deny, destroy, whatever the three words are. She said that over the phone. And that's it. $10,000 bond.
Similar to the accused shooter in Manhattan, Boston is getting support.
Look, my sexual. Well, I am indeed straight.
Online from people who say,
hey, there we go. Shout out to Boeus Prime in the building. Welcome. Always good to see ya. Zippy said, yes, free speech with the caveat. Is it more of a one-off thing? It should warrant an investigation, but if she's not actively threatening. Yeah, that's not actively threatening. Use it. What was the three words? Deny, deny, defend, depose. You people are next. Come and get me. That's what she did. That I should be hauled off right now. Or wait, there's this thing called the Constitution.
that she was just sharing her opinion and should be protected by the First Amendment, but police
You wish.
do not see it that way. She's facing a second-degree felony of written threat to kill or injure, conduct a mass shooting, or an act of terrorism, a serious charge that she could end up in prison for 15 years.
15 years for a non-violent sentence.
Reporting live in Lakeland, I'm
The nature.
Prison for 15 years, 3 kids. What do you guys think? Free speech or terroristic threats or threats to kill? Wow. Mamma mia. Is this the beginning of copycats? Is this the beginning, even though she didn't shoot somebody?
Exactly. I feel like that's a pretty important part of being a copycat, is doing the thing that the person did. She didn't. Absolute insanity. Freedom. What? insane. I just it's wild to me that there are, cops, a judge, lawyers, all these people saw this and were just like, yeah, works for me. I cannot imagine. Then this when it actually goes to court, it gets thrown out. But she has the 10K bond, and she can't get out, so she's got to wait until trial. But we said the statement was meant to invoke fear of harm. Oh, well, that's free speech. Context of considering some of the things that were cheered by the woke the past few years, I wouldn't put this down. I wouldn't put this down as a violation of free speech. It's not. It's the beginning of a new age of American terrorism. Okay, what does that mean? There's not enough meat here, but the state gonna enslave. 50-50. I mean, I cannot see a higher judge seeing like, no, I don't believe it. I do not believe that that multiple judges will no. That would blow my mind. Wouldn't be the first time that my mind was blown, but
over 2 decades.
It would blow my mind. So let's move on, and we're going to definitely keep an eye on that and see how that develops, whether or not she does get off. And you guys, 80-20 did say indeed it's free speech. And I mean, I don't know how it's even a question. Unless you're actually, before we do that, let's do this.
Something interesting happened over at CNN, and it's turned into a controversy.
Never mind. That was the wrong thing.
It was over 2 decades. How much time do you think you'd have to spend in prison?
Well, for one Illinois official, the answer is far less time than most people thought or the judge even wanted. And investigative reporter Ben Bradley is here now with more on the story. Ben.
Ray and Micah, it was a heist of epic proportions, carried out little by little over 20 years.
So this is one of the names on, as you know, actually, should we do that? Let's just do Joe Biden and the general thing about clemency.
This morning, President Biden unveiled the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The White House says he is commuting the sentences of some 1,500 people and pardoning dozens more. Joining us.
Sounds good, right? Like, oh, okay, great. There's a bunch of people who are in jail, and we know that the system sucks, as we just saw that woman get arrested and do you call it imprisoned if you're in jail? But whatever, imprisoned for just her words that were absolutely not a direct threat. Zippy said, look into a law that, yep, agreed. But I can't see it. And so you see that they're doing that. So fine. Okay, great. If we're getting people out of jail, like that should be a good thing. That's generally a good thing, right? Especially if we're saying it's all nonviolent offenses, of course. And so that's ridiculous. That's not justifiable. Which is that the bond? Agreed. Guantex said a BLM protester literally said in front of the courthouse after Daniel Penny was let off that we need more black vigilantes. He should be held to the same standard if this is the case. And the same standard being they should both be allowed to say those things. I personally wouldn't do it, but them's the rules.
Commuting the sentences of some 1,500 people and pardoning dozens more. Joining us live right here in Studio 55 is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. To see him.
So I'm actually, obviously, we already know from what we talked about that, being facetious and that this is not a good thing, and that, not all of the people, I don't know all of the names, but already there are multiple stories about some of the people who have been given clemency, and they're not the kind of people who deserve it.
Yeah, good to see you here.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Right, love what you're doing. Very, very good decorating skills I have. All right, so let's talk
Absolutely,
about
yeah. Am says call centers get threats all the time. It's normal when people are pissed off. If you've ever worked in customer service, if you ever worked in retail, if you ever worked in food service, like you people are next, bruh. That's a Monday lunch shift. That's a Monday lunch shift.
Come on, man. Very, very good decorating skills I have. All right, so let's talk about these clemencies and these pardons. What struck you about them?
Well, that they've come so quickly after the pardon of his son, Hunter Biden, and amid a lot of concern among Democrats that perhaps the president is failing to use those powers for everyday Americans who are perhaps more deserving than his son, or at least deserve consideration.
So that even in the attempt to be like, well, I let my son off, so I got to let some more deserving people, he still did the worst possible thing.
These 1,500 are mostly people who were under home confinement during or in the wake of the pandemic.
Oh, okay. So these are people who already were not in jail. Okay, cool.
A lot of prison officials, jail officials had sent people into home confinement so that the virus wouldn't spread.
Sorry. Before we get to this, I there was one thing I wanted to say about the copycat girl. I don't understand that. That is why I don't believe that it's going to go anywhere, because the story is already big enough that eventually it will get to Trump. And there is no way, if it gets to Trump, that he's gonna be like, what? No, she's good. Put her in with the J6 not clemency, pardons, and yeah, just like, what? That's fucking stupid. Get this out of it. But I even think that the next court should laugh it out of court and dismiss the charges. But yeah, it's just crazy to me how not the left specifically, but the establishment, continues to just serve on a silver platter political wins for Donald Trump. All he has to do, because remember, a lot of people are already like totally cool with the Luigi thing. They're totally cool with that. And the guy actually killed somebody. So now we take a woman and we take somebody who didn't actually do anything, but just said words over the phone. Trump pardons her, and everybody loves him even more. All right. Back to Biden.
We're in the wake of the pandemic. A lot of prison officials, jail officials had sent people into home confinement so that the virus wouldn't spread. And at this point, he's essentially saying your sentences are over for now. The 39 who've been pardoned, a mix of nonviolent, mostly drug offenses, similar to his son's issues. But we don't yet know who exactly these people are. The White House hasn't released the names, so we're waiting to hear.
Okay. I was going to say, wait, we don't know who they are? No, they just didn't release the name.
And we know that there are probably going to be another few rounds of these leading up to the last 6.5 or 5.5 weeks to go in this presidency. Will they include people like the son and daughter-in-law of Jesse Jackson? The Reverend has asked that the former congressman and the former alderwoman in Chicago be pardoned. Will it include a certain environmental lawyer who's been become a cause celeb for a lot of Democratic lawmakers?
Okay, so we get the point. He's let a bunch of people out. So who are the people that he let out? Let's take Rita Credwell. For
crime in a small town that went unnoticed for too long. In Ronald Reagan's hometown, a shocking crime committed by a trusted friend.
I was shocked. Of course, I was disappointed because those things happen in Chicago, not in Dixon.
True.
Mention the name Rita Crunwell around here, and you'll get an earful.
A lot of her actions really put other people's lives in danger.
Well, there were many things over the years that Dixon should have and could have been able to do had she not taken the money, like maintaining the streets.
But it wasn't always that.
Maintaining the street? What do you think? This is the government's job? Come on.
This person was respected at the time, born and raised in Dixon.
No, Rita was once respected, even envied, a world-class horseman with a stable worthy of a queen. And yet, she still found time to keep the books for her hometown.
Just looked like it was a shell game, that they just kept moving money around from fund to fund to fund, but you could never find out where that money was actually spent on.
Money in politics. A story as old as government.
Crunwell was Dixon's comptroller. She controlled the public purse strings, and she stole $54 million.
My students ask.
Kelly Richmond Pope is a DePaul University accounting professor who became so enthralled with the Crunwell caper.
So I just didn't understand how a place could miss that amount of money and not know it.
U.S. government at every level is shit.
She produced it.
So this is, let's rewind a little bit. You coming on up? Hi, more. Let's rewind a little bit. We were talking about Nancy Pelosi. We were talking about the idea of whether or not politicians should be allowed to trade stocks. And somebody, I apologize for who it was, but somebody said, well, we don't necessarily want to chase the people who are, good at life and have a lot of money and know how to make that money. We don't necessarily want to chase those people away from being in office. Number one, are you sure? Are you sure? Because everybody that we've seen that's gotten into politics, either at least on the main stage, so to speak, in the last couple years, have all been independently wealthy people. You got Trump, you got Vivek, you got Elon, you got RFK. All these people are not depending on donations from lobbyists and big donors to do what they want to do. So first of all, I'm not necessarily saying that it is good to keep people who are successful out of politics. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that because of the damage of how money works in politics as it is now, maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing. And maybe if we got more people who were willing to do public service, then we would get people who do public service. Just a thought. And then, as we talked about with the 19 terms, having term limits, I don't know what the argument is there. I don't know how you, 19 is good. Give her 20, whatever. Hey, shout out to King Nirvana. Thank you so much. Not only for the $2, but for the PSA. So if you can share this video, please, and like. Thank you for the shout out, sir. Very, very, very much appreciated. And that brings us up to $40. $40, guys. 25, and we're there. Let's get Morty his peanut butter. Box said servant is not a bad word. Especially when you choose that. Especially when you choose it. Especially when what you are serving is the American people. Maybe a little bit of honor should be separated from all that money. Because then you get
how a place could miss that amount of money and not know it.
She produced a film about it.
She completely pulled the wool over her town's eyes.
She lived quite a life, totally different life than what she portrayed here.
By day, she's wearing municipal clothes, and by night, she's dripping with jewels and furs.
World champion, Rita Crunwell.
She had this grand, high-stakes horse empire.
Years later, what stands out is that the largest municipal fraud happened in a super small town. I mean, and those two things together seem quite odd.
That partially explains how Crunwell got away with it.
You guys know about Tiffany Haynier, right? Like, that's the type of area in Chicago where you expect to see this stuff.
Quite odd.
That partially explains how Crunwell got away with it for 20 years.
This is a strong city that will recover.
Siphoning off city money by creating bogus bank accounts made to look like they were for official Dixon business.
Got these allegations.
How did it go unnoticed?
She did it herself. She was the one who signed the check. She's the one who picked up the bank statements. She's the one who crafted the budget. She's the one who, took in the bills and sent out the checks. There wasn't enough oversight. There wasn't enough division of duties.
Clearly, because somebody should have been able to miss or be able to see that there was $54 million missing. I think it was over. Do they have exactly how long? I forget. I think they said it was over, a number of years. 20 years. Yeah. So she did over 20 years, which is, only what? $2 million a year, but still. For a small town, $2 million is still a lot.
There wasn't enough oversight. There wasn't enough division of duties. They put it entirely on her, and she kept her circle small, down to one.
Crunwell didn't necessarily hide her wealth in town. Heck, she stamped her initials on it, all the while telling townsfolk the cash came from her wildly successful horse business.
There's a government in a nutshell. They live like kings over the people. Yep. How big is the budget? That's a good question. Let's see. What state? Dixon. Hold on. Yeah, Hold on, yeah. Dixon is Illinois. Illinois. Oh, come on. Dixon, Illinois. Oh, wow. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Dixon, Illinois. What kind of budget? So like let's just say yearly budget. See what we get with that. There isn't much more. So it's only 15,000 people. Median household income. Where am I? Median household income. 52K. So pretty standard. Small town. 52K. So don't know exactly, but somewhere around there. What in the hell happened here? Oh Jesus! Give me a second here. My thing got messed up. There we go. Okay. Where are we? Yeah. So there should be a sacrifice associated with working for one of the 3 branches of government. Absolutely agree. And this is a perfect example of SOX regulations. Financial controls ensure that there's not one single point of failure. Good job, Dixon. Buck said, am rights and responsibilities. Your rights are my responsibility. I think people do give things up when they go into government, but it's probably not enough. Clearly not enough, man. Says there should be no perks. Literally, it's to serve the people. Bingo. Yeah, and I understand the notion that if we have somebody who is well off and they're not going to be able, or rather not well off, and just by not even, that's a stupid argument, because especially if we have the term limits, right? Let's say you're in Congress for 2 terms. And then you're out. You could make a shit ton of money after that from being a former congressman. You don't need to be trading stocks in office.
Telling townsfolk the cash came from her wildly successful horse business.
Let's face it, Rita Crundwell lived a life of lies. I understand the city of Dixon was closing its pools because they couldn't afford to operate them. The defendant built a pool complete with a sauna.
Jason Wodilla was the former U.S. Marshal in charge of asset forfeiture.
We believe we have located and seized and are liquidating virtually every asset owned by Ms. Crundwell.
He still recalls inventorying Crundwell's prized possessions.
They've been large. Hey.
Including a $2 million RV, 3 homes, fur coats, jewels, and
look at those.
$2 million RV.
That's a big as fuck. Look at these. Oh no.
3 homes, fur
3 homes,
coats, jewels.
And look at these. Look at that. Look at that. Encrusted. Look at the size of this thing, man. 4 of the 228 pieces in the Crundwell collection that will be sold by the U.S. Marshals in live auction on February 23rd. Buck said, let's give them 10 terms each. That's half of where Pelosi is now. If you like a person, you should be able to vote for them. Nope. This is this is antithetical to the idea of the what's the word I'm looking for? The ideology. The ideology should be why you vote for a person. And the ideology is not unique to any one person. So yes, we have pioneers like a Lincoln or a Reagan or a Trump, where it's like, okay, we're going to do things very differently. But once that is out there, anybody can be like, oh, I agree with him. That's it. We don't need someone to be in office for decades in order for their influence to continue. I mean, would anybody here argue? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Trump had no influence over American politics over the last 4 years. Exactly. 10 terms is too much. I mean, even if you came at me with 5, I'd be like, all right, let's call it 4. But 10 terms, 10 years even is a long time But in terms of 10 terms is just too goddamn much. That's an entire generation. Zibby said all government budgets should be public information. Yeah, that's insane that it's not. Representative democracy dies with age and installation. Bingo. Exactly. Well, yeah, and it's terrible. It's terrible. That's exactly the point. Again, maybe we can talk about 5. We can talk about 5. You would have to really make a strong argument for me to even entertain more than 5. Could be done. Believe nothing except that anything is possible. It is absolutely possible for you to convince me, but it's going to take some work. Zibby said, I like 2 years on, 2 years out. Then you can run again. Get in, do your thing, and tap out of the ring. That forces people to run on new issues. But also the staff and puppet masters control the elected. Yeah. And whether you serve back-to-back terms or not, not the biggest thing. Because I do, when with term limits, then you introduce a lot more campaigning. So if you're in for 2 years and then somebody else has to campaign and then you have to campaign again, that's a lot of money that's going into the campaign, and it's a lot of time focused on getting reelected as opposed to governing. That's why, the Supreme Court is lifetime appointments, because it's just like, okay, you're here. You don't have to worry about pleasing anybody. Just do what's right. And, while 19 terms is way too long, I think 2 years on and then 2 years out of the game and then having to run again, I don't know how realistic that is. I don't, especially in the for freshman Congress and stuff like that. That's you're not gonna have good competition. Then it's gonna come back to money. And at the end of the day, what Box was saying before, if you like a person, you should be able to vote for them. I don't think 1 term is a reason for them to get out of office. But yeah, I mean, in general, some type of limit is needed. Bounce said, did you see how Mitch McConnell looked? I didn't, not this time. We could definitely check that out. We did take a look at Nancy Pelosi. I was hoping to get, some live footage. Oh God, oh no. But we didn't get that. Can you imagine how slow she felt? She was probably like, oh no. Bubby said, yeah, limiting the number of consecutive terms is the way to go, in my opinion. Okay, well, so based on what I was just saying about time and money about campaigning, how do you respond that it would be like, let's say we are limited, just for the sake of argument, limiting it to 2 terms. Why would it be better to have 1 term on, 1 term off versus the 2 terms together and then you're out of the game? Why is that so much better that it's worth the time, money, energy, focus, attention, manpower taking away from actually governing and being put on campaigning? Well, I mean, that's a very different issue, the Congress to lobbyist pipeline, and I definitely agree. But I think it almost gives a reason why the term limits are not such a big deal to the politicians, because they could just go and get a job. I don't love it, but I also what kind of limitations can you really put that are that reasonable? I feel like, what, you were in Congress for 2 years and now you could never, ever, 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 ever work in this industry? That seems like a little much. I mean, again, I agree. I don't think it's the best thing to be happening, but it's not all about what I like, right? Am said, I've been asking for a ledger for years. We can shoot laser guns from our ships. We spend billions on DOD. We fund research. We forgive taxes for the chosen, yet we can't get a live accounting. We could. They just don't want you to. 3 for Congress, 2 for Senate. That's fair. Any reasoning on why we need to split them up, though? It's kind of like how we can't identify a bunch of drones over Mar-a-Lago or over Jersey. So he said, to your limit, out for 10 years is enough to change a person. Out for 10 years? That goes back to what Bach said. If I'm 30 years old And I want this person who's good at the issues that we have now. And then the best person that we have just can't do anything about it because they only have 2 years. Again, explain to me why getting somebody out of office and then getting them back in is better than, but why? Before you're trying to do it, tell me why it should be done. Why is it a benefit? Because I've given you the cons. I've given you the negatives. That if you have a 2-year term, in over 6 years, you have 3 races. That means half of every congressman's term is solely running. So, and I mean, again, we could have a 2-year term, but then we need more terms. I like a longer term. I like the 4 years. It gives enough of that the president has. It gives enough time like to do stuff without having to worry about the lame duck period and all that stuff. Buck said term limits run up against the idea that you can vote for who you want. You got to take the good with the bad, and that's what I'm asking for. What is the good? What is the good between breaking up the terms and making sure that somebody has to run 2 campaigns instead of one, especially in places where there's someone who is liked by the constituency, so nobody else runs. Now you're going to get somebody. You have somebody in. Everybody loves them. They're doing well. But now the town and other people have to spend money on a race for somebody else that they don't want just because and how 2 years is not long enough to, as Ann said, it's not long enough to get things done. The wheels of government are supposed to turn slowly. And so again, why should it be broken up? Should be no best person. They all play games. One shot. Why should it be broken up? Why should it be broken up? Why should it be broken up? What is the benefit that outweighs the negative of breaking up the terms? Why should they be broken up? Why should the terms be broken up? Why?
Including a $2 million RV, 3 homes, fur coats, jewels, and
sold him $775,000.
300 quarter horses.
It's just one of those deals where some of it's just gone. It's been fed into the horses. How do you recover that?
She didn't really flash a lot of cash in the city, right? Because she's a city employee. She didn't wear the mink coats, the jewelry. A lot of her wealth was kept in Beloit, some 45 minutes away at the Mary J. Ranch where her boyfriend lived.
We're not taking any questions.
Do you have anything you want to say to the people of Dixon?
Well, Crunwell played
not a goddamn word. Yeah, I just got, all my freedom and all your money, and I'm just going to keep quiet, which is smart, but fuck you.
Guilty and offered a tear-filled apology at sentencing. She has never spoken publicly about her crime.
Don't you think you owe the people of Dixon an apology, Rita?
Yep.
I don't believe she's really that remorseful. It's just something that probably her attorney told her to do.
Is it your sense that she was remorseful?
It is not, actually.
Jason Modillo met with Crunwell several times in prison.
I mean, typical. Let me not go there.
He worked to account for and sell off her assets.
She conveyed to me more of a sense of disgust that she had been sentenced to so long. She was very visibly shaken by the fact that she was serving a nearly 20-year sentence.
In the summer of 2020, WGN Investigates obtained a handwritten letter Crunwell wrote to the judge begging for early release after serving just 8 years of her 20-year sentence. With my deteriorating health condition and the danger of the COVID-19 pandemic, I feel like I have been given a death sentence, she wrote. The Pekin prison she was assigned to
poor baby, 20 years for $54 million.
Have a significant COVID outbreak, but still she appealed. My crime does not pose a danger to the community. If I am granted home confinement, I will be very low-keyed. I am going to do everything possible to make up for my mistakes. The judge said no. The people of Dixon assumed it would be another decade before they heard the name Rita Crunwell again.
I didn't think she should be released.
I think our community is just ready to move on.
Then, 1 year later, a late-night surprise.
Right now, reports suggest that former Dixon Comptroller Rita Crunwell has been released early from the Federal Corrections Institution in downstate Pekin. You may recall she's the former comptroller of Dixon.
Crunwell had only served...
Hide your money. hide your money because she's coming out.
Half her sentence, but the Federal Bureau of Prisons released her to home confinement. It led to a rare public statement from the trial judge, who told WGN Investigates the early release of Rita Crunwell from her criminal sentence
President
of 19
Biden
years
has
and
granted
7
clemency.
months was not the result of any judicial process, but was a modification of sentence by the Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons would not confirm any information about why Crunwell was released or her location.
Why was she
Three
released?
Chinese nationals,
Well, the Bureau of
including two
Prisons
convicted spies and a man found guilty.
Probably because she gave money to somebody like the big guy. Zippy said new people forces new deals to be made. If they are in and out in a flash, they can only deal with one issue rather than becoming a puppet. 4 to 6 years is fine, one and done. So right. Yeah, that's the idea, is that, we want new people in the sense of as compared to Nancy Pelosi being in for 19 terms. Again, it takes time to do things. So we want to make sure that once you're in, you have some time to actually get things done before you're like, okay, who's next? And you don't know what's going on. Okay, who's next? Okay, you don't know what's going on. Who's next? I don't think I'm not convinced, sir, but 4 to 6 years is fine. But again, if we're talking 4 to 6 years, then we're talking 2 to 3 year terms. Again, agreed. That's why 19 is too many. We're all on the same page with more time equals more corruption. What we're talking about is trying to find the balance of how much time is enough, which is not too much to create the same amount of corruption. All right, let me see if this is the guy. Yep, okay. Got him next. Got him next. Good shit.
East or her location.
Why was she released? Well, the Bureau of Prisons refuses to say, citing Crunwell's privacy. But sources say it was the CARES Act that made it possible. Portions of the law signed by President Trump allowed for the release of federal inmates to slow the spread of COVID-19 in prisons.
She had a huge break, and she can...
Wait a minute. Wait. So you're saying that since Trump wanted to clear out prisons and people who were nonviolent offenders who had a sentence to serve could serve that sentence at home, and that is the justification for saying, oh, well, okay, you just don't need to do anything. What? Speechless. So my thought process is the elected are disposable because the game is controlled by those who constantly get reelected. The reason it takes so long to do anything is because they waste so much time playing with too many deals. Perhaps, and yes, that's part of it. But the other part of it is keeping the machine going. Any politician will tell you most of their time is spent on the phone getting donations, getting support for this, getting support for that. And you need time to build relationships so that once those you've called in those favors, if you've done this, you've done that, now you can actually wheel and deal. Now, doing deals is not inherently a bad thing. It's just that they're corrupt deals. But we need politicians to work with each other, work with unions, work with corporations, work with all of these things. So we want deals. We just don't want shitty deals. They did that. They haven't reoffended. Well, how the fuck are you going to reoffend when you're not when you're okay, well, you're not in jail, but like you're being monitored. You're going to tell me that this bitch who has no remorse, her own lawyer said no remorse, and you think that, oh, she's just not going to reoffend. Okay, dude. I mean, maybe you just have more faith in evil bitches in the government than I do.
Of COVID-19 in prisons.
She had a huge break, and she can thank the origins of the pandemic for that break.
That wasn't the break. Like, that is a break, yes. No, but the break is the fact that because of the fact that you were already out of the prison, nothing to do with behavior, nothing to do with remorse, nothing to do with restitution, nothing to do with rehabilitation. It's the fact that you physically weren't in the prison anymore. That should not be a justification to say, oh, you don't have to serve your sentence anymore. Okay. Do you feel like she's been deterred or rehabilitated? I don't. Am said terms don't impact corruption. That's correlation, not causation. Sure, but the longer somebody is in, the more time there is for them to fuck with shit.
The origins of the pandemic for that break.
Rita may not have many friends left in this area, but she certainly has a lot of family, and that's why we came here looking for her. Sorry to bother you. I'm from WGN.
Bad luck.
Why do I have bad luck?
You're
Well, that's not very nice.
What are you doing here? What are you bothering me for? Get your camera off my face.
Is Rita staying with you? Or
Rita who? Who would you like?
your sister who wrote in a letter to the judge that she was going to stay with you if she was released?
Do me a favor and kiss my head.
No, Rita's relatives weren't much interested in offering an update. But sources say
Yeah,
she's been
think?
spotted here in Dixon at her brother's home, where a folding table and chair are set up in what would be within reach of an electronic monitor. She also expressed interest in returning to a southern Wisconsin horse farm.
I miss my horses. I need my horses.
All right, let's go.
I paid $54 million for them.
Where she once kept some of her prize-winning quarter horses.
Hi, sorry to intrude. Are you Jim?
That's Jim McKillips, Rita Crunwell's longtime boyfriend.
Is there anything you can tell us about how she's doing, or?
I was going to say, not directly. The politicians we know of are just spokespeople. It's the unfireable and contractors that are the problem. True. Very true. But that's a whole other discussion. Fox said, horse people are insufferable. Let's talk about trailers and trucks for hours. I'm good.
Longtime boyfriend.
Is there anything you can tell us about how she's doing, or?
Ain't got a clue.
Because she had originally told the judge that this is where she wanted to come.
Well, she didn't, but she's not here and she won't be here.
So what's life like for this one-time queen of horses? For the next 9 years, she'll have regular check-ins with prison officials, and there are likely limits on her movements.
Oh, poor baby.
Have you spoken with her since she's been out of prison?
No.
No.
Her and I are very close friends. But
Why you always lying?
that's where it is.
A decade after her fraud was first exposed, Dixon has recouped most of the money, first through the sale of Crunwell's impressive but ill-gotten gains, and then through a $40 million settlement with the accounting firm that year after year blessed the city's books.
Dixon is a very resilient town.
Resilient, yes, but also scarred.
She took something we can't get back. She took trust.
First by betrayal, and now by Comptroller Crunwell's early release.
I feel like she had the last laugh. She won. You know, I mean, she lived like a queen for 20 plus years and only served 8 years. I mean, you do the math. She sort of won.
Rita Crunwell's attorney says his client has a long history.
That's just one. That's just one. And again, I'm sure if all of these were non-violent things, that it is probably not the worst thing in the world for all of them. But there's just to be able to pick out some terrible examples really just speaks to who Biden is and who the Democrats are. That they will hide behind this. Oh, prison reform. Oh, we're for the people. But the people who steal from the people are not for the people. So if you're for those people, then you're not, in fact, for the people. They are not the people. They are the establishment.
Yes, Scott, Lisa, former Judge Michael Conahan was at the heart of one of the country's biggest judicial corruption scandals for his role. He was sentenced to serve more than 17 years behind bars. Now, his sentence was expected to end in August of 2026, but that has now changed due to the president's announcement.
It's been 15 years since 2 Luzerne County judges were accused of taking kickbacks in exchange for sending kids to privately run juvenile detention centers.
No, it's not separate as in it doesn't affect it. I mean, it's a different conversation than why we're talking about term limits. There is absolutely the correlation of term limits and corruption, which is why we're talking about term limits. Saying that, it's not the politicians. You're right. That's just a different thing. That's not the conversation that we're having. I agree with you. I agree. I agree with every word that you're saying here. That doesn't solve the term limit discussion is all I mean. That's just a different discussion.
In the scandal now known as Kids for Cash, former Judge Mark Chivarella and Luzerne County's former President Judge Michael Conahan were accused of shutting down the Luzerne County-run juvenile detention center and accepting millions from the builder and co-owner of 2 for-profit detention centers. The scandal is believed to have impacted the lives of more than 2,500 kids, including whistleblower Hillary Transu, who we spoke with back in March in our Kids for Cash, the New Crisis series.
The kids that were affected by Chivarella, the people who were affected by him, they aren't mad because he took money. That's salt in the wound. What we're mad about is that he hurt us.
Back in 2010, Judge Michael Conahan pleaded guilty to a federal charge of racketeering conspiracy. He was sentenced to more than 17 years in prison. His sentence was scheduled to end in August of 2026 when he would be 74 years old. But now that's changed. As President Biden announced, Conahan is one of nearly 1,500 inmates to have their sentences commuted.
Almost literally selling children to prison, and you get out. Okay.
Conahan has been on home confinement in Florida since 2020.
Oh, no, he will never be a judge again. What a horrible punishment. Fair.
Over coronavirus.
Actually, I reject this premise. There's too much. This isn't a person, shoplifting or doing what the other chick did. There's a system here. So there's other people involved, and there's no reason that he can't be the judge in the system. But they need people who are willing to do this kind of thing, and clearly we're willing to take part. I don't see why they wouldn't have a way to if not do it again, try to make money from illicit means. Exactly. So I don't really care about whether he's going to do it or not again, as much as yes, you do, as much as the it's in that order, fine, fair, but punishment is still on the list.
Concerns. All the recipients were on.
And I mean, deterrence, you're just going to get let out. Hope for a pandemic. I don't really know how much of a deterrence that is.
Compassionate release during the COVID pandemic. According to the White House in a statement, these recipients have, quote, successfully reintegrated into their families and communities and have shown that they deserve a second chance. But more than a decade later, officials on every level of the juvenile justice system argue that Luzerne County and the entire region of northeastern Pennsylvania are still feeling the effects of the Kids for Cash scandal. Since Conahan and Chivarella were sentenced, there's been an overhaul of Pennsylvania's juvenile justice system that has also led to the closure of more than a dozen facilities and created a major lack of juvenile detention beds. We spoke with Chadwick Libby, president of the PA Council Chief of Juvenile Probation Officers, back in March.
These are
J6, everyone from J6, the grandmas that were, well, not everybody, but a lot of people that were just walking around, waved in, all those people still sitting in jail. This motherfucker was in his home. But yeah, he takes priority. He takes priority, right?
Committing serious crimes. And now we have no beds and they're going right back into the community and committing more crimes.
Which is another aspect of why you need to pay this punishment.
Meanwhile, the Juvenile Law Center, the nonprofit that helped break open the Kids for Cash scandal, has released a statement to us saying in part, quote, we hope former Judge Michael Conahan has reflected on the harm he caused to thousands of kids as he accepts this clemency today. Likewise, while we certainly support President.
You hope? Maybe you should be sure. We're going to say we hope he's reflected on the harm. Maybe at least ask him. At least ask him. We hope. Fingers crossed.
As he accepts this clemency today. Likewise, while we certainly support President Biden's actions, we would like to see the same kind of compassion and mercy extended to children nationwide who continue to suffer harm from our juvenile and criminal legal systems, end quote. Now, as far as former Judge Mark Ciavarella, he's still serving a 28-year prison sentence at a federal prison in Kentucky. He is expected to be out in June of 2034 when he'll be 84 years old. Scott, Lisa?
Guilty of possessing tens of thousands of child pornography images as part of a prisoner's...
All right. I found Mr. Chinaman. Yet another. Motherfucker. Yeah, good. Yet another motherfucker on this list. And again, I am totally for, nonviolent drug offenses where you just had a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, whatever. Drugs should be legal. But that's not what we're talking about here.
President Biden has granted clemency to 3 Chinese nationals, including 2 convicted spies and a man found guilty of possessing tens of thousands of child pornography images.
Why? Why would you do that? Of all the types of crimes that we expect to be done again and to not be deterred by jail, that's the biggest one.
Images as part of a prisoner swap with China. The clemencies, dated November 22nd, secured the release of Americans Mark Swiden, Kai Li, and John Leung, who were imprisoned in China on charges ranging from espionage to drug-related offenses. Among those pardoned were Yang Junchu, a career Chinese intelligence officer, and Ji Chaoqun, a Chicago-based spy linked to China's Ministry of State Security. Chu, extradited to the U.S. in 2018, was convicted of targeting American aviation firms, including GE Aviation, to steal trade secrets. Ji was sentenced last year for espionage and recruiting spies to obtain U.S. aerospace technology. The third individual, Shan Linjin, a former doctoral student in Dallas, was convicted in 2021 for possessing over 47,000 child pornography images. This exchange follows heightened tensions over Chinese espionage.
So, did I miss that? Who was the exchange for?
In October, a congressional report criticized the Department of Justice for insufficiently enforcing laws against Chinese spying. The pardons come amidst revelations of Chinese influence operations in the U.S., including alleged espionage within New York state and local governments, and the exposure of a covert Chinese police station in Manhattan. While the swap has drawn criticism, it underscores the complex dynamics between Washington and Beijing as they navigate issues of national security and diplomacy.
For more stories.
Wait. What was... You said it was a prisoner swap, no? Am I retarded? Chinese, pardon, China was caught. These guys there, that guy there, and then we had homeboy. First Chinese was convicted. Blah 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 blah. You guys heard that, right? After the sentencing, Merrick Garland praised the DOJ. Oh, well, actually, yeah, that's actually good. Today's sentence demonstrates the seriousness of those crimes of the Justice Department. Okay, I actually agree with Merrick Garland and the DOJ for once. And Biden fucks it up. They work together, blah, 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 blah. Wait, I saw prisoner. Yeah, okay. Worked there, blah, blah, blah. 2016 enlisted. This year. Earlier this year, federal prosecutors in Brooklyn hit a former aide in the New York State governor, Kathy Hochul, with a host of espionage and money laundering charges. Linda's son received lavish gifts from Chinese officials. Okay. Police station. What do these comments say? Unless there's a drastic change. He doesn't even know what he's signing at this point. It's anarchy. Biden was competent to run. Yeah, if Biden was incompetent to run, and shouldn't be allowed to grant these pardons. I think we need to 25th this motherfucker before he lets out more pedos. Biden is on China's payroll. Wild. All right. Yeah, cool swap where we give them someone and they don't. Oh boy. Just another month. 1 month. 5 weeks, guys. 5 weeks. What did we get? We got that. All right, let's talk about Brett Cooper. So you guys have definitely heard that Brett Cooper from the comment section is out at the Daily Wire. Shout out to Actual Justice Warrior who covered this.
Greetings and salutations to all the viewers of this channel.
All right. Yeah. Insane. I mean, how do you get to this place where there's not a huge uprising? Spies, pedos, selling children, and stealing from constituents. These are the people. Insane. Box said Brett Cooper leaving Daily Wire was not on my bingo card this year. Yeah, me neither. I wonder when she will start her new channel. I'm sure she's got some type of I'm sure she's got some type of contract non-compete thing, so it'll probably be a little while, and then she's got to start her own channel, but that's assuming that she wants to go right into making content. She just had a kid. She may be just like, I'm good. She's in the Snow White thing, she's in the Pendragon thing. Maybe she better just live on that. Who knows? She was in Hollywood before, so she's got other residuals. Who knows? So because DW is wild. Feels like it's a micromanaged hell. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go. I'm gonna switch it up and let's use Tim, because he has a little bit of a different perspective on things than we've been seeing, and I appreciate what it is, even if I don't fully agree with him. Right. All right. Let's do that.
Oh boy, it's time for my favorite subject, the internal workings of media, with the news being that Brett Cooper has left the Daily Wire following days of speculation. And the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is stop believing the rumors. Oh, man.
The thing I'm interested in most here is what you guys think of Tim's opinion, because we have the it's very clear she's out. She said she was leaving. There's rumors that Zippy said, that it's micromanaged to hell, all that stuff. So let's just get a take on what Tim is saying.
Miserable thing in the world working at a media company when you try to be polite and deal with legal issues that you should not speak on for legal reasons, and then everybody's lying about everything. That is, with all these rumors flying around about what really happened between the Daily Wire and Brett Cooper, which I imagine is probably standard business, not that crazy nor interesting, the Daily Wire nor Brett Cooper are going to come out and disparage each other, not because of contracts and restrictions, but because there's no reason to do so, and they're probably not really that upset about it.
Like, people are talking about how, she can't say anything, and they're squeezing her out, and these crazy NDAs and blah 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 blah. Okay, maybe, I don't know. I've never worked in this area.
So right now, we've had some rumors over the past week that Brett Cooper's upset. She's fighting with the Daily Wire. She's being stabbed in the back by her producer. I don't believe any of this, and maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you this from my perspective.
Strong words. Maybe I'm wrong.
For those who don't know,
probably not though, right?
Brett Cooper is one of the biggest shows that the Daily Wire has. I'm sorry, it's the comment section with Brett Cooper, which
shout out to Box with another $2. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Eat it, motherfucker. Yeah. It's too small. All right, we'll get that one was small. We'll give him a second one. There you go. Thank you. Very, very much, sir. That brings us up to $40. $40, 15, and we're there, baby. No, wait, 40. We were already there. So $42, baby.
The biggest shows that the Daily Wire has. I'm sorry, it's the comment section with Brett Cooper.
You will, yeah. She's already that. As far as I understand, that's already done.
Which will likely be changing now that Brett Cooper announced last night that she, in fact, was leaving the Daily Wire. My assumption is that her contract ended and renegotiations didn't go so well, but there's a lot of reasons why they probably would not have. And so I'll break that all down for you. But I'm really excited to talk to you about like the internal workings of podcasting. This is the least transparent industry in media. Sorry, that's just true. We know the ratings of CNN. When they're floundering and miserable, we mock them. But
that's an important point. That's an important point. That not a lot of people are transparent about their numbers. Shout out to the lead attorney. I was just watching him today for the first time in a while. Really helped me get going. And I don't follow him as closely anymore, just doing my own thing. But every year he would do a thing and just show his analytics. I'm like, this is how much I make. This is how much I make per month. This is how much I make from this. This is how much I make from that. And that's why I got into this. And I did not expect it to take this long and even longer, but there's money on the table. So if we can stay in this game, guys, if we can stay in this game, I know I'm leaning on you hard, and I know you guys really, really, really do come through for me. But if we want to make it in this game, we got to play the game.
Sorry, that's just true. We know the ratings of CNN. When they're floundering and miserable, we mock them. But the podcast industry doesn't disclose their numbers. I have no problem saying that Timcast IRL on the audio podcast side gets about 100,000 unique listeners per night within about 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours. Sometimes a little lower. Sometimes we hit 100K after a few days, but it's a topical news show. I wish the numbers were bigger. They are what they are. Most podcasts don't tell you what their numbers are, don't want anyone to know because they want that gravitas and mystique, despite the fact they're going to sell ads against what their actual viewership is. So whatever. But
ads would be nice. Ads would be nice. Hey guys, I'm Lutch, and I would like you to buy this mug.
Let's start with the story from The Spectator. Then I'll show you some of the rumors and speculation, and then I'm going to tell you what I actually think happened. Not that I know anything specifically. I don't. But I'll give you my thoughts on what's really going down. And I'm gonna explain to you the inner workings of how we do media, how I've done media that I've worked in the past, how the contracts have gone. Here we go from The Spectator. They say Brett Cooper is leaving. They say, hey guys, some of you have heard the rumors online. The rumors are mostly true. Brett Cooper began her YouTube video posted Tuesday evening, very tactfully. Today, December 10th, will be my...
I'm so glad she did that. I'm so glad that we didn't have to sit through a 12-minute thing the other night.
Last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I'm being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And there's people saying, she's lying. She has to say that. Oh, stop, dude. No. That is wrong. If Brett Cooper is saying she's not being forced out, it's her choice to leave, that is true. Now, I do think when you see all of the Daily Wire talent posts saying it's sad to see you go, I'm willing to bet that Daily Wire's team said, hey, guys, can you put out a message saying, we're sad to see her go? It's not that complicated. It's a company with media talent, and they coordinate PR messaging.
Sure. And again, I agree with him. I don't like how confident he is that, like, no, she doesn't, she's not on bad terms. Unless you've spoken to her, which it doesn't seem like he's saying that he has. Then he's been doing that a lot more. Just kind of leaning into his comment and saying, or leaning into his opinion and saying it as if it's fact. And I don't love it, but shout out to Sarah Marie. Welcome to the party. It's so thrilled to learn this news the other day. Why is that? You don't like Brett?
It's not that complicated. It's a company with media talent, and they coordinate PR messaging. I'm not really surprised by that. Well, let's read more. Cooper had frequently been dubbed the female Ben Shapiro during her tenure as the Daily Wire's other podcast, as one of the other hosts,
because she literally looks like him.
She was also set to star in the Wire's production of Snow White and the Evil Queen, out next year for some reason. What? The next video announcing her exit has gone over 5 million views on X since the 12 hours of publication. So some people have said, so she's not going to be in Snow White? That makes no sense. I assume they finished filming. Why wouldn't they? And Jeremy also mentioned she is starring in the Pendragon cycle, which is Arthurian legend. It's basically their Game of Thrones. So she's still going to be seen in all that content. Whatever. They go to say, what are the rumors? Cockburn, of course, has been keeping up with all the Wire drama. Online whispers implicate the other non-Ben Shapiro co-founder, Jeremy Boring, often referred to as the God King. Hey, guys, that's little G. They put a big G. Okay. Of the Daily Wire, a number of rumors center on spats between prolific movie producer Boring. He cast himself as a lead in Lady Ballers. Oh, come on, it's the only thing he did. Which he also produced, co-wrote, and directed, and Cooper. I will say this of Jeremy. He's a good dude. I've known him for a long time, and he could be doing a lot more. That's why I'm sorry. Maybe I'm.
He could be doing a lot more. I feel like, whether you like them or don't like them, the amount that they're doing seems like an odd thing to throw their way. They're doing a lot. Between Lady Ballers, Am I Racist, Follow Minneapolis, going back to What is a Woman? I don't know. I don't think it's as much as I love Tim. I've noticed that after the election, he really has started to have a big head about his opinions. He was already very opinionated, but it's coming off as being a know-it-all. Agreed. And I'll keep watching some content, but some mistakes are starting to turn me off. And I think that's an important distinction. Like, again, we shouldn't be watching people for news because we like their personality. It's definitely reasonable to not like somebody's personality for whatever reason. But as you're saying, it's if you're only just going into I like this person, so that's why I watch them. Maybe that's not ideal. Sarah said the news of her no longer being a part of Daily Wire after they kicked Miss Owens, the way they did that, they completely lost my respect. Fair enough. Zibby said, as a news outlet, Jane Joshua. What? Shout out to John. Welcome to the party. We are just talking about Brett Cooper. Anybody could do more. But who's doing more than Daily Wire right now? As a news outlet. I'd argue no one.
A long time. And he could be doing a lot more. That's why I'm sorry. Maybe
if I was Jeremy, I'd be pissed at that.
Maybe I run a media company, so I can relate to when people are spreading lies about you. And because you're trying to do the right thing, you don't talk about it.
Okay. Doing more about the drama. Got it.
So what can I say? Again, I haven't talked to Jeremy or anybody at the Daily Wire about any of the specifics relating to this, so I have no idea. I'll just give you my thoughts. They say after Cooper gives some grateful farewells at the beginning of her video, she segues to a clip of the God King himself. Bittersweet indeed. We're sad to see Brett go, but we're excited to see her take up the next step in her journey. It's been a pleasure to see her bring the comment section to life these last 3 years. Brett's YouTube show, The Comment Section with Brett Cooper, has garnered about half the YouTube subscribers that Ben Shapiro's accrued in just 3 years, a remarkable feat compared to Shapiro's many years in the business. Amid all the rumors, Reagan Rohrbach, Brett's producer, had been filling in for Brett periodically, and Brett announced Rohrbach would take over the show as many predicted. Online sleuths noted that Cooper had deleted all...
He's reading. I'm going to skip over words.
Photos featuring her with her producer from her Instagram.
So he calls himself the God King right there. And where is it? Where go? Well, wherever. He's just reading. He's not making that up.
Over the show as many predicted. Online sleuths noted that Cooper had deleted all photos featuring her with her producer from her Instagram in the week leading up to Cooper's announcement. Cockburn would like to host a quick comment section of his own.
Cockburn? Why?
Okay, sure, whatever. Fortunately for the Daily Wire, they can apparently afford to lose a few of the Gen Z viewers, Cooper. They can, apparently. Daily Wire raised an undisclosed round of capital in 2023 at a valuation well north of $1 billion, a source told Axios Tuesday. Conveniently, shortly before the Cooper announcement, the Daily Wire is reportedly on track to surpass $200 million in revenue by the end of this year. Wow. The company's streaming service has well over 1 million subscribers. Boring and Shapiro have long been described as shrewd businessmen, and the numbers are supporting that fact. But as Cooper said, the rumors are mostly true, whatever that means. It means she's leaving. Part of the rumor people were saying is that the Daily Wire is in financial trouble. Oh, man. Guys, I work in the media industry. I look at Ben Shapiro alone can probably sustain the entirety of the Daily Wire. This is what people don't get, and it's frustrating. I do to tell you guys the numbers, and I know you guys watch me and you appreciate that. I'm not saying for like everybody else who doesn't watch my show, they live in a clueless world that don't understand the exorbitant amount of money that comes into this industry, and the margins are great. But we'll get in. Let me read more.
So the problem I'm not super. I've heard the name James Klug. I don't remember who he is, but the problem with Candace Owens is that she's too close to she's too close to the company. She's going to be biased by her own experience, and I think as much as there might be, I mean, I did watch the thing. As much as there might be inside information that Tim doesn't have, and I'm certainly not acting like Tim is the authority, as you'll see. But yeah, I would be very cautious to take Candace's opinion as the true north on this.
They say she's wearing a sweater, blah, blah, blah. As an actor, it's so freeing because I don't feel like I'm censoring myself at all, Cooper said in an article last year on the Daily Wire, addressing her role as Snow White. That aged well. Everybody wants to rag on the big dog and the big player. I, for one, think the Daily Wire is extremely important because the alternative is the corporate institutions of, say, like Disney and Fox Corp and ABC. Well, ABC is Disney. And
you got it's very easy to be like, oh, the Daily Wire this and Ben Shapiro that. It was just a few years ago when Fox News was all that there was.
ABC, CBS, etc., etc.
And again, I'll be transparent. There's a little bit of defensiveness in this. That wait, so if I keep doing this and I grow, is the expectation that no matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough? I'm always to this or that. Or is that what I have to look forward to? Do I even want to do that? Is that something that is worth my time?
Let me show you a little bit of the rumor mill. Here's one of the top tweets. It doesn't have a lot of views at 12,000, but this was, I've seen this circulating, and when you search on Twitter, this is what you get. This person says, I'm no business major, but it seems like Daily Wire might have effed up if they lost Brett Cooper. Bottom 2 videos are with Brett, the top 2 are with a replacement. And they show that when Brett makes a video, it gets 500,000, and when Reagan does, it gets 170 to 147. Guys, I'm really excited to give you all the inside baseball on this one. One person says,
shout out to Carl. Welcome. Talking about Brett Cooper
getting kicked off the Daily Wire. Apparently she had disagreements with the treatment of Candace Owens and the culture at Daily Wire, all fueled by Jeremy Boring. She won't be able to address this. They made her sign an NDA just like real Candace Owens. If this is true, I'll be genuinely upset. Don't do my favorite YouTubers like that. This is all alleged. And then we've got this video from Ian Carroll. I'll play a little bit.
Wire's pushing Brett Cooper out, and I was like, inside scoop on the fact that
we actually watched this in the after party on Wednesday.
The Daily Wire's pushing Brett Cooper out, and I was like, and I know who she is. She's great at her job. She does what she does. Yeah. And so I go and look up her channel, and I'm like, wait a minute, she's still producing videos though. What's going on? And so I started digging in more. I talked to James, and I went and I started digging in and found my own source right at the Daily Wire. And now I've had even more come and corroborate it since I reported on it. And it's not just that the Daily Wire is pushing out Brett Cooper. It's actually that Brett Cooper is under one of these contracts that has her basically tied to secrecy and silence because now they're terminating her contract.
Shout out to Right Click. Welcome. He says, oh, Ian, way too easily. Welcome.
Contract.
I like Ian Carroll. I've had him on the show several times, but this is just wrong.
Arbitration clauses are coming into play. So she is in a secret court of arbitration, not a public court, where she is under NDA and can't say anything about it while they spin whatever narrative they want about it. And they're circulating around letters internally that are saying like, oh, Brett Cooper wants to leave. And that is not the case at all, apparently, according to everyone at the Daily Wire that I've spoken to. And it's that she had disagreements with Jeremy Boring over what happened with Candace, probably, and certainly more disagreements in terms of like the culture there and what's going on, and is now getting.
I'm curious what that means. Like, what is the culture there and what is going on?
Pushed out. They are promoting her best friend, who was her maid of honor at her wedding. They offered her a contract that was so lucrative she couldn't refuse it.
The best friend that her bestie had was already offered.
Producer Reagan,
bridesmaid.
Yeah, her producer was her bridesmaid at her wedding this year, and they apparently allegedly gave her
communism. I say. I'm kidding, by the way, but I'm screaming communism. All right, let's break this down. Jump over to the comment section over here on YouTube, and I'm going to give you my free market, moderate liberal view. And as the CEO of a media company with lots of talent that makes, we're an 8-figure company, by the way, in terms of revenue, which means we're probably worth substantially more than that. If you go by like standard evaluation based on the hard assets that we own, one could estimate the value of Timcast around maybe $70 to $100 million. Yeah. Look at Travis Kelce. He sold his podcast for $100 million. Call her daddy. Was it Alex Cooper? Is that her name? I don't know.
Yeah. Have they had her training to sound like Brad? That's weird. That's weird. Is that Reagan? Like a Jezebel? I don't even. What even does that mean? What's a Jezebel?
$100 million. So
isn't that supposed to be like a whore or something?
We are usually the biggest live show on YouTube, Timcast IRL, but the company has more than just that. We have multiple revenue streams. We have a coffee brand. The coffee brand, we're doing around $2 million in revenue per year. The skateboard company we just launched, we've sold probably close to $80,000 to $100,000 worth of skateboard stickers and art. It's probably closer to like 80,000. I haven't checked the latest numbers. We do very, very well. And so I can tell you all about this, and I got no problem doing so. Let's take a look first at that comment about Reagan's viewership versus Brett Cooper's. And if you look right at the beginning, you can see that Brett Cooper's last episode has 400,000 views in 13 hours. That's really good. I mean, crushes my viewership. Let's go. I put up a video.
Okay, yeah, but everybody knew what it was. Like, when you did your, well, I think this is the end of Timcast. I bet that video fucking did amazing, right? But I called it from the moment I saw it. I'm telling you guys, there is no thought in my mind that I'm sorry, Bubs. I know that was frustrating. I know. He's sitting here, I'm reaching over, trying to get my sweat. She's like, bro, can I just sleep? My bad, boy. But there is no bone in my body that believes that I am anywhere even close to the same realm as Tim. Say it again. In no world do I have any notion that I'm even close to Tim's level. Number one, I understand numbers. His channel is literally over, 100 times my size, yeah, like, whatever. Oh, we got a hungry dance. We got to feed this fucking dog, guys. We got to feed this fucking dog. Yeah, no, I do not think that I am Tim. I am the next Tim. I am almost like Tim. I'm close to Tim. I'm just saying there's certain things about what he's saying here and certain things about the way that you guys are responding that shows me that there is such a big difference between not having a channel and having a channel. Then there, not a bigger difference, but such a huge difference that the difference between not having a channel and having a channel can be, I don't know because I'm not there, can be as drastic or seemingly as drastic as having a channel of my size versus having a channel, not a company, a channel his size. Does that make sense? I am not trying to act like I am anything. I'm just trying to share an experience that I see what he is talking about that resonates because of the fact that I am in a similar, if not much tinier position. I just want to make sure everybody understands that before we continue. And continue, we will shout out to Bobius Prime said, feed the beast. He is a monster. Hey. Thank you. And we also got Right Click. Thank you. Say, give him them scratches, man. Do you want the scratches? Or do you just want the food? He just want the food. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. Let's keep the party raging. Where are we at now? We're at 41. We're $45, guys. $15. And Morty gets his peanut butter. 15. That's it. Split it amongst you. And make that dog happy.
Last episode has 400,000 views in 13 hours. That's really good. I mean, crushes my viewership. Let's go. I put up a video clip and I get, in this past month, not nearly that much. 4 days ago, she got 500,000 views on that. Man, I'm jealous. This month's been a little low for me. Usually, so the actual average on my videos for this morning show is 200.
Quick thing. I actually had my other one that was just pure, the plain black one that I would always wear. And that I've talked about, the client that's like on the way tippy tip of the corner of New Jersey, and it's like an hour plus away. I left that and my beautiful black hat at their house. And I was like, I'm not driving out there just for that. And then, of course, I asked Mama Lutch for a plain black beanie for my birthday. And I got this. It's gray. and it had a poof ball on top. That, oh, great. Didn't realize that had happened. Thanks, Mom. Yay. Good job. Mama Lutch with the presents again. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. She is the best at getting you something that you'd be a dick to complain about, but it's also not what you wanted. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. To say they created her brand, so why should they pay her more? That is indeed a fair point. Bro, being fine in a way that who's Bree? Bree? The fuck are you talking about? All right.
I'm jealous. This month's been a little low for me. Usually, so
I said shit. Me too.
Actual average on my
shout out to, you know what? Give a big dilly to anybody, whether you're a member, super chats, whatever. If you have given money to this channel, dilly to you. I wish it wasn't a necessity, guys, but unfortunately it is. Oh my goodness, Sarah Marie. Thank you so very, very much. So Brett will continue to blossom, just like Amala and several others, because of who they are, not because a brand. Indeed, I completely agree with that. And so does Morty. Thank you so very, very much. Dilly, my willy. Dilly. Appreciate you. I love you guys.
Million views on that. Man, I'm jealous. This month's been a little low for me. Usually, so the actual average on my videos for this morning show is 225,000. Sometimes they're good, but I don't know. I got to be honest. I don't do any of the head tracking stuff. I don't have the marketing. I don't have the thumbnails. I literally don't do any thumbnails. Let's take a look at Reagan. 164K, 183K between these two videos. If we scroll,
this is all for you. This is all for you. Of course, yeah, it's for me too. But this is all for us. We're the community. You're not paying me. You're paying us. This is us. If you think that I'm going to, and I'm not saying that you are, but if you think that I'm gonna do some rug pull where I'm just gonna make my money and keep on my channel, like, trust me, guys, we got stuff in the works, but I got there's stuff behind the scenes. Again, I'm not saying that I think you think that. I'm just saying if somebody were to think that, then I would be very offended by that, because I absolutely have no desire to be rich. All I care about is really, number one, finding a family. That's probably number one up there. But number two, creating a better America for all of us. That's it. Well, I mean, there's other stuff after that, but you know what I mean. Love you too, brother. Right click said, it makes me happy to support you. Jesus H pays me. I'll take it. Thank you. And Box coming in with another gifted membership. Guys, make sure you have your gifted memberships turned on. I don't know why that is a setting, but indeed it is a setting. Shout out to Insight of the Ages, who got the the membership this time, but it could be you next time. Yeah, shout out to the Hawk Coin. That was the ruggiest rug pull there ever was. Funkmaster General said there's families everywhere. They're not hard to find. I wish I had a joke for that, but it just makes me sad. So let's just move on.
Let's take a look at Reagan. 164K, 183K between these two videos. If we scroll down, however, to 2 weeks ago, we can see that here's a video from Brett Cooper with 276, and Reagan's got 319. Reagan has 163. So sometimes they're low, sometimes they're high. Reagan doesn't host that many. Here's one of Reagan with 500,000. The movement shows what's wrong with leftist women, 595,000. Now, it's possible when they say that Brett Cooper removed Reagan from her Instagram or whatever, I don't know if that's true, maybe she did, that there is some animosity. It is acrimonious. But first, let me tell you what I think probably happens. As I understand it, and this is, I'm not entirely sure, the comment section is not Brett Cooper.
Nope.
The comment section was, actually, let's go to the oldest video.
Yeah,
the comment section with Brett Cooper trailer. Brett Cooper was a personality that I believe they selected to host the show they wanted to do. And I could be wrong about this, because I don't know much. I'm not like privy to the internal workings of the Daily Wire and how they launch things. But what I had heard was that they wanted to launch a show, Gen Z, female host, and they found Brett Cooper to do it. It is a show wholly owned by the Daily Wire, wholly marketed to. We run ads for Timcast IRL and the Tim Pool Morning Show on YouTube. It's simple. I've launched them in the past year or so, where it's like, hey, if you want to watch the best show in news, culture, and politics, check out Timcast IRL, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. live. Subscribe, click the ad, subscribe, smash the like button, and we'll see you all there. It's just that.
That's the kind of stuff that I need money for. And when we that brings in more people, that brings in more money, then we could do more stuff for you. Especially if you're in the Discord.
Extremely effective. It costs money. We're the ad I'm doing, it's like working really well. We just launched this recently, and you can see it's been tremendous. If I wanted to, I know exactly how much money I have to spend if I would like to have 4 million subscribers as well. If I were to spend the money required to get 4 million subscribers, then well, that's me making that choice as the owner and principal host of this show. For Brett Cooper, who is paid talent, the Daily Wire has to decide how much they're going to spend. I know how much money it's going to cost to build up a show to this point, and it is substantial. So a lot of people are saying she didn't want to leave. She was forced out. She says she's leaving of her own volition. That is probably half true. Brett Cooper probably wanted to stay hosting the show, but she wanted things that they did not want to give her. Here's my view. Brett Cooper.
Yeah, I think somebody brought this up before, saying that, she probably wanted more money, and they were like, no, and we're like, all right, bet.
Cooper says, hey, look, I just got married last year. I want to spend more time with the family. She's been taking time off, as you can see, with Reagan hosting some of these shows, and she's still under contract, implying that she's saying, I want to be with my family on my farm, or something to that effect. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm just saying she's been taking time off. She likely is up.
And again, if I was in that position, you guys hear me use this phrasing all the time. It's reasonable to believe. It's reasonable to believe that she just wants to take time off. Making the claim that it is probable, or I'm just saying she's likely doing this. You don't know if it's likely. It's possible, but it's not necessarily likely just because it makes sense to you. So it is reasonable to think that she might want to be taking time off to spend with her family.
My family on my farm, or something to that effect. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm just saying she's been taking time off.
And then you don't have to kneecap yourself. Well, maybe I might be wrong. I may be wrong. Yes, you want to leave that possibility. But if you have to say that every other sentence, it means that you're not very confident in what you're saying. And so just put it out there. It's reasonable to believe this based on the information that we have.
She likely is up for contract renegotiation and went to the bosses and said, the show's massive. There's millions of viewers and I want more money. They probably countered and said, Brett, we've spent millions of dollars to get the show to this point, and we're trying to make that money back. So no, we're not going to give you what you're asking for. Host the show, be famous, and you'll make this much money. Brett probably countered with something like, I can host my own show and I'll make a ton of money on my own. I don't need you anymore. This is the big problem, and I feel for big companies in this space trying to do things like this.
This is where, again, the reason that I chose Tim is because I think that we are... I think I'm going to disagree with a bunch of things that he says, but the underlying message is something that you're not hearing other places. Guanzag, did anyone hear from Lauren Chen the past couple of months? Well, no, but she was behind Tenet, so yeah. No, and I mean, supposedly, they got duped, and I'm willing to believe that, but it's reasonable to believe that is not. I wonder if he's going to find a way to compare this to skateboarding. Probably. King said, we know how it works. I mean, you kind of did trick me when you applied a Discord OF, but I looked past it. Okay, marketing is marketing, right? Timmy Neutron, Galaxy Brain.
I don't need you anymore. This is the big problem, and I feel for big companies in this space trying to do things like this. Contracts are meaningless. Now, here's why I said to Ian Carroll, no, over the NDA stuff. NDAs are mutual respect. That's it. They're largely to dot your I's, cross your T's in terms of external arguments with external agreements with other companies. For instance, if we have employees here at Timcast, they all have a standard business NDA, and they all have standard employment contracts.
Tim.
How dare you?
That must be an awful place to work.
That means anything they make while they work for the company is property of the company, but I'll explain why. And we tell people, people with larger, a lot of people you see here, they're contractors. Contractors can come of their own volition at any time. They set their own schedules. We don't tell them what to do or when to do it. We say, here's a job we need done. Can you do it? We pay them to do it. Employees have schedules. Nothing we can do about it. We have tried, in some instances, to bring on talent, and we can't because...
Adam Krigler.
We don't want to own everyone's IP, right? Let's say there's a dude who hosts a show, and he's also got a book, and he owns this other company. And we say, okay, the problem is if we want to set a schedule for you, and say you have to be here at this time, we legally can't have you be a contractor permanently. It's called permalancing, and it's illegal. You have to be an employee if you're going to be on a set schedule.
That's fucking illegal.
But as an employee, we have to own what you produce. I'll explain why. It's not that we want to steal anything from anybody. If I enter a contract with a movie producer and I say, we standard contracts for like a film, they always include a provision that says, we assert that we have full rights to everything we are describing. Let's say that we have someone here who is an employee working full-time, and they have the right to produce external content outside of the company. That means not only would they utilize access to our shows and other elements of this place to profit, which kind of undermines us in a certain way, but we're chill hippies over here. It means that if I enter into a contract with a third party and I assert that I have full rights to everything that we produce and say, and so it's a combination of things. This would basically undermine that contract because I don't, in fact, have full rights. We let other people here make content in the media space as employees in other areas. It undermines our ability to control our intellectual property, sign deals with other companies. Let's say I got an idea for a movie. It's about a guy who juggles horseshoes, and a third-party investor says, we are in. We want 30% ownership. It'll be a joint venture or something like that effect. And we sign a contract saying we assert we have full rights to do this. But then we've given somebody who's not under NDA and not under any kind of IP rights contract as an employee. They then immediately say, hey, everybody, I'm announcing I'm filming my own horseshoe juggling movie. We are now in breach of our existing contract.
And that is an aspect. That is an aspect that the other channels, the other people commenting on this are either not privy to or not sharing. And so that's why, even if I don't necessarily agree with everything that Tim is saying, as Sam Marie said before, it's important in order to honor the freedom of speech to listen to several voices. Tim's voice, after only being presented to it through this channel, I learned that his is one of the ones I don't agree. Okay, well, there you go. But knowing what he has to say to agree or disagree with it is the important part, in my opinion.
It's a nightmare. So we tell people, if you want to do something here and you don't want to be under the full umbrella, then we'll find a way to do a contract position. But for a lot of people, we told them, no, you can't do it. We won't hire you. Thank you and have a nice day. So anyway, I digress. When they say like, she's under NDA in an arbitration show, she can't say anything. Guys, a woman with 1 million followers on Instagram is obligated to nothing. Literally nothing. The Daily Wire is big. And what gets them by is that right now, Brett Cooper is a professional. She is intelligent and she gets the business. And the same is true of Jeremy Boring. Any disagreements they have is probably surface level business. And I'm sure maybe they're upset at the end of the day. The Daily Wire is probably sad to lose Brett Cooper. She does pull in massive views. Brett's probably sad to leave the Daily Wire, but she feels maybe she should get more money and wants to spend more time at home. The Daily Wire probably responded with, we need a full-time host. Okay. It's too soon for you to say you're going to host less, but there's more to this. I'll explain in a second.
That really is it, Carl.
So if
you're a girl in politics, then you already have, way more people who are just going to look for that. If you're a woman in conservative politics, come on.
I know this because I've worked for companies, and I was explaining this last night. There is no reality where you enter into a contract that is extremely lopsided, one-sided, and damaging to one party, and a judge upholds it. Okay. If I said, would you like to sign a contract for employment here at Timcast and we'll pay you X amount of dollars? And they said, yes. And then in the fine print, it actually says, I'll pay you less. No judge is going to uphold that. They're going to say the purpose of a contract is to outline a fair agreement. If you told the person in paragraph 1 that they're getting paid $100,000 a year, but at the bottom, way in the back in tiny text, or if it says see addendum, it says your pay will be reduced commensurate with the appropriate response, blah, 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 blah. They're going to be like, no. This person entered in the agreement, believing they get this back. You can't do that to somebody. If it said I get your power of attorney, they're just going to say no, and they're going to throw it out. But here's what really matters. I have contracts, I have clients, and we entered into an agreement with a client for work. And they came to me and they said, here's the deal. Here's what we're thinking. I said, we agree to this. We get an invoice and I look at the invoice and I say, this is not what we agreed upon. And they said, actually, you did. And it turns out there was a provision that wasn't, that was a bit assumptive, as it were. Meaning what was presented to me was not, was interpretable in the contract. And I have lawyers. And so you want to go to war, baby? We'll go to war. My lawyer, of course, said, no, they're pulling a fast one on you. Sure, they're going to try and make the argument that was the interpretation, but we clarified this in advance. This is what we did. And our lawyer's like, we're going to win. Didn't matter, though, because I get on the phone with them and they said, sorry, this is what the agreement is. And I said, I am going to hang up, sever our business relationship, and then I'm going to record a 20-minute video about exactly what you did. And they're like, no, stop.
You are the media now.
We're sorry. What do you want? Dude, you listen.
It's business.
NDAs, they're important. They're good. They generally work. But it's more about like, we have an understanding before this, we're going to act professionally. If it was really as bad as a lot of people are claiming with Brett Cooper leading the Daily Wire,
I'm going to guess that he's going to say she would have dipped out and not fulfilled her contract or something.
And she really was being forced out. Ain't no NDA or arbitration clause is going to stop anything. Because
I don't know if I don't know. Again, this is completely from ignorance, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Because if we look at the entire Crowder situation, there was a lot of people who are ex-Crowder employees who felt like they wanted to talk, but felt like they couldn't because of those NDAs. So I'm not trying to claim that Daily Wire is the same as Crowder. But again, how are you making that distinction? Shout out to Zippy DSM League, gonna make me pull this up because I have no idea what the fuck it means. But hey, money is money and treats are treats. Guys, we're at $51. We're over $51. $10 gets Morty his peanut butter. That is it. That is it. Sam Marie said all of this reeks of not having even truly watched her or their content. Cooper and then Walsh and so on and so forth were the reason I got addicted to Daily Wire. I respectfully disagree because the fact of the matter is that Brett Cooper does not dive super deep into these topics. She is for a different demographic. You are more into politics. You are more mature in your thinking, and you have a better understanding of other political things, even in America, than the average random Gen Zer who doesn't watch anything except Brett Cooper. They're not watching her because they're like, oh, I'm really interested in what the leftists have to say today. They're watching her because if it's a guy, she's cute and she's she's saying things, but another girl. It is what it is. Hey, look at our boy. I hate that it's always got to be you, man. A pillar of the community. Why can't I keep these going? There we go. And of course, now that we've met our goal, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly in a baseball bat, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly in a baseball bat. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. Look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. He's so happy, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody better fucking like that super chat. Everybody better fucking like that super chat. Especially if you're not a member, especially if you didn't super chat. You ain't gotta whatever for me, but that man is holding this channel up. That man is holding this channel up. I may have quit by now if it wasn't for Funkmaster General. So please, do the very, very least and just like his super chats. Thank you so very, very much, sir. I don't have the words. But I appreciate it to no end. Thank you, sir.
Daily Wire, and she really was being forced out. Ain't no NDA or arbitration clause going to stop anything. Because I'll tell you this, with 1 million followers, she has massive leverage to cause massive problems for the Daily Wire. That is to say, Brett probably entered into negotiations for her contract. They were unhappy, and she left. And that's it. I'm not a fan of this. They have NDAs, and they can't talk about it. I'm like, when they say they can't talk about it, they're being nice and respectful. Okay. Anybody who is truly wanting to go nuclear would literally use that leverage against the company.
Again, I disagree. Because again, I'm trying to going back to hey, like I said, not pay Daily Wire. I watched them though. Pay for TYT, Actual Justice Warrior, and Indian Jesus. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's absolutely not lost on me. Very, very, very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm so let's say what Black Salami's saying. Crowder had that weird clip come out where he acts like a total lib towards his wife, and Loki abuses her, not physically, but he's really fucking mean to her in the video. Yeah, so I definitely, if I had to assume, based on everything that I've seen, I would assume that Ben and Jeremy are just generally nicer people than Steven Crowder. I would bet that they are better at business than Steven Crowder. And I would argue that they are more mature in their business practices compared to Crowder. That being said, there are parallels. And so not specifically with this, but, with Sven Computer and Not Gay Jared and Dave Landau and all of them. Why is it that the NDAs were strong enough to hold them from speaking if what Tim is saying here is so true? Because they didn't speak out for a long time. And now there's legal action because it is a contract. So I'm not really sure where he's coming from. And I'm willing to listen. We're here to listen, but you're not explaining. Yeah, exactly, Gomsec. Conservative women are the counterculture now. Yup. Yeah, we got that. But said I donated to Toys for Tots. I gave out like 15 tablets. There you go. Good for you. Give me the money. Give you. Let's get that real quick. Oh, come on. God damn it. You give me the money. Did he die? Or are you just saying not on the show anymore? He didn't die. I feel like I would have heard about that. Thank you, sir. Guante said, yeah. Listen to Funkmaster. Guante said, I always thought Dave was funnier than Steven Crowder anyway. I was never. Is this about Dave? Because I always thought he was like, I never liked when I was watching a Crowder more. Whenever Dave would host, I was like, but I also never really gave him a fair chance. So I don't know. It wasn't until later, we covered when he was on Michael Malice talking about all that stuff with Crowder. And it's not that I don't like him. It was just I already didn't love the whole Louder with Crowder setup to begin with. So yeah, no. All right, let's finish this up. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who is truly wanting to go nuclear would literally use that leverage against the company. Okay. So anyway, when you say like they're in arbitration and all that stuff, I doubt they went to arbitration. That's silly. Now, as for Reagan and the producer,
why,
guys,
why? Explain.
I'm going to tell you how
like, if you have a reason to doubt that, give us that reason. Now you're just asking us to trust you blindly. I doubt that. Okay. Why?
Feel about this. If I spent millions of dollars building up a show that got to 4.5 million followers, yes, I understand the principal talent is the main face of the show, but CNN rotates their schedules too, and this has to be adaptable. I do.
Ooh, good poll. Will you watch? Okay, so I got you.
Think they will face a general.
Well, I mean, have you watched Reagan? Because she's already been on for months. Like, not consistently, but she's been doing, videos for months.
Pullback from Brett Cooper leaving the show, but Reagan will probably do really well. It is possible that Brett Cooper is upset with Reagan, but I don't blame the Daily Wire for offering Reagan a contract if that's what they did. I don't know. So the way ads are sold, we recently did a 3-month ad deal. I try not to do extended ad deals. I try to do pay as you go. You get less money. it's often better to pay in advance because you can do to sell in advance because you can do averages. And we did a mid-roll ad read yesterday. We'll probably pick these things up, but we'll see how things go. We did a 3-month deal. That's a contract. It has to be completed. So let's imagine this. We are right now in the upfronts period. It's the last quarter of the year where advertisers are coming in, taking a look at the averaging for all of viewership.
We got a new poll. Will you watch Reagan on the comment section? Yes. I don't know. I don't give it a try. And we have 2 different no's. No, because I don't like her, or no, out of principle for Brett. Let's see. So box is in. Box is in. Yeah, that's the reasoning. Box said I was just made privy to the coaching, and I hope she ditches it and does well. That's a big part of it, because I'm willing to see, like, okay, some other, the same way I was willing to watch Brett, just like, oh, here's some random Gen Z girl who seems to be talking about the things I want to hear about. She's with the Daily Wire. Cool. And gave it a shot, and I liked her. I don't think I want a Brett copy. I think if Reagan can do it, or if somebody can do it, then do it. But this weird half thing ain't really working for me. Sarah said it most likely won't survive. Won't watch it myself. I should have the option of a simple no on that one. Well, there's different reasons for why you would want no. I'm specifically asking if you are watching, or if you're not watching. What do you mean? Why would I want one option if there's 2 different reasons you might not want to watch her? I'm specifically asking that. Moses said, I don't know. I'll ask my wife. She's the only one that watches Brad Cooper in this house. Shout out to Brad Cooper. Should have the option of simple no on that one. How did I not read that? What did I read wrong about that? So I see. If a woman was conservative, she wouldn't be. Yeah.
Ship and what they can expect in projections for next year. Companies then will sell a large portion of inventory up front to bring in the revenue to run those shows and run a profit, expand, invest, etc. Let's imagine this again. No idea about Brett Cooper. Let's say that I, as a company, I'm approached by an advertiser, and like this happens every day, by the way. And they say, "Hey Tim, we like this show. We want to buy 30 ad reads over the next 4 months at this rate on this schedule." And they give us a calendar, and we tell them where we have inventory. Imagine I had hired talent, and I said, "Okay, we've spent millions of dollars building up the show. We spent millions of dollars marketing it. We've flown you all over the place. We've got you on podcasts. We've built up your brand."
Oh, I let him know the other part.
This cost us a lot of money.
Money.
We need to make that money back. We have sold 6 months of ads in advance.
But still, I stand by what I said about the 2 no's.
And now contract negotiations are coming in, and the talent says, I want more money. And the response is, okay, well, we still haven't recouped our initial investment from building up a show of this size. And I'm not convinced the comment section has actually, I assume that they've made a good amount of money, but it's probably not substantial. Getting a show like,
why would you say that? It doesn't seem like a very high production show. I mean, obviously higher than like this. This happens to be, I happen to have a living room where I don't really live in. So I just, put lights up. But like, they build the studio. Okay, that costs however much money. But how long? Let's see how long. How old is the channel? Let's see the comment section. Where do you fucking find that? From 2022. So from 2022, they got 4 million subscribers on 3,000 videos. Oh, sorry. Yeah. All that. Yeah. Join 2022. I don't even remember what the fuck I was questioning. What did he just say?
I assume that they've.
Oh yeah, why would you expect that over 2 years, with that many subscribers, that many views, and the fact that I assume she does behind the paywall stuff, why would you assume that they haven't made their money back? Again, just going with your opinion as fact and then basing other opinions on the fact of your opinion. You can't do that. And yeah, exactly. Brett is a surface level person for surface level people. Exactly what it is. Exactly. Shout out to Box with the $2. Thank you very, very much. Let's see if he'll pull away. Hey, Mark, you want this? You're like, hell yeah, give me more. Let's see. Go to channel. Your channel has no videos and 2006. Holy moly. 2006. I was in high school. I had I just lost my virginity. Thank you, sir, very much. Appreciate it.
Building up a show of this size, and I'm not convinced the comment section has actually. I assume that they've made a good amount of money, but it's probably not substantial. Getting a show like this to 3 years takes a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money. And so maybe actually I take that back. I think they're probably turning a pretty profit on the comment section.
Told ya. Sarah said my Sarah Must channel is almost as old. All right. Let's see. Oh, God damn it. We won't show any of your videos. I don't know how you're feeling about that, but we got 2008, almost as old. Accurate. Shout out to Kelly Green. What is good? Welcome. Zippy said History Channel is subterranean level people. What are you talking about? All right, there's just a
lot of money.
I'm ready for the
maybe
party.
Actually, I take that back. I think they're probably turning a pretty profit on the comment section.
Told you.
But imagine you sold in advance and the talent says, I want more money.
Me?
You say, look, we're not making that much money off of the ads already sold and they have to be sold. So we can't reduce schedule and we're not going to pay you anymore. The ads are sold for what the ads are. We invested in the show. We are entitled to the majority of it. You get X%. You are talent hired to host the show, not the creator of the show. And the individual then says, I don't need you anymore.
That's what popped up. I don't know. You gotta get your analytics, girl.
This is the big risk in the modern era. And it's why I say contracts don't matter. The important thing to understand. Back in the day, if I signed a talent contract with ABC, for instance, and then we got into an argument and I disparaged them and I broke my contract, they would sue me and I'd never work again. I tried going to NBC, CBS. They're going to be like, not you. We're not hiring you. We'll get sued by ABC. You're under contract. You're being sued. This day and age, you can make your own social media channel. Nobody can stop you. They can sue you all day and night, but guys, it's not going to happen. Understand, there's a story of this couple that were standing outside of a McDonald's.
Let's get 3 more votes on the poll, guys. Come on. Why am I begging you to fucking hit free buttons? They're free. Just hit the buttons. Good fuck.
Pamphleting saying McDonald's was bad. McDonald's sued them, and the PR backlash was so bad, McDonald's lost a lot of money. The Yes Men activists talk about this. They say, people ask them, how come these are activists who cause problems for the stocks of big companies, most notably the Bhopal disaster hoax, where they went on the BBC claiming to be an executive, announcing they were liquidating
Oh, yeah? So we'll copy exactly what you put. All right. We're going exactly what you put. And that's what came up. The first one. So I went to that one. This is a playlist. So if this is the channel that you're asking about, then we have 2007. Okay, you got an extra year. Look at that. Way older than my shit. Oh, I was like, what? Well, that's where I was going to go. But I do feel like I needed to bring Tim's opinion in here. Carl said it is reasonable to assume that views at Daily Wire are down after election season, just like they are at CNN, MSNBC, and the Indian Jesus. Although not as badly. Sure, but I don't know that Like, that doesn't sound like what he was saying. Which he went back on and agreed with me that that the channel itself over the course of the 2 years or 3 years hadn't made its money back. And I would just, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Oh, yay. Okay, sure. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It is actually just beef liver. Like there wouldn't be anything. Is that one of your videos? For $10, we'll watch whatever video on YouTube that you want.
Most notably, the Bhopal disaster hoax, where they went on the BBC claiming to be an executive, announcing they were liquidating Dow Chemical, or was it Union Carbide? I think that not Dow. They were liquidating Union Carbide to pay for the Bhopal disaster, caused a massive stock collapse. People are asked, how come they didn't sue you? And they said, because suing the little guy is actually bad for business. So let's say that Brett Cooper breaks all the contract, breaks all the rules, launches their own channel, and then the Daily Wire announces, we're suing you to shut you down. Do you think that's going to look good for the Daily Wire? Do you think it's going to help them? No. So it's not so much that Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire is putting the boot down on somebody. It's that there is a let's not get into mutually assured destruction and go to war with each other. It would be bad for everybody. Let's just agree to disagree, be friends, and we'll wish you the best of luck. That's it. Daily Wire always knew their contract would be coming to an end after a certain amount of time. Brett Cooper did the same thing.
Which is why it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't have, over the years, planned and put the marketing behind the channel to make sure that they made their money back before, especially with the rate of growth. By 2023, everybody in this space knew who Brett Cooper was. So if they're these great businessmen that you're talking about, they're like, oh, clearly by the end of her contract, she's going to be able to go out on her own, or she's going to ask for more money. So if you're if that's your plan and you understand that, then again, why would you think that they don't have the money?
Always knew their contract would be coming to an end after a certain amount of time. Brett Cooper knew the same thing, and Daily Wire knows, because I know.
Under 10 minutes.
This.
Yep.
If you invest substantially into
any video under 10
talent,
minutes that's already on YouTube,
they can leave whenever, and there's little you can do about it. Going to war with personalities against their audience is not good for you. That's it. So anyway, let me just say, a lot of this is more about my wanting to talk about the podcast industry and the money and all of those things. And I know nothing about what's going on with Brett. For all I know, Jeremy threw a snowball at her, and there's no snow in Nashville, but I don't know. For all I know, he said that he didn't like her hair, and she was like, how dare you, I quit, whatever. I doubt it. I believe what likely happened is it's a big show with massive investment, and Brett Cooper wanted more money to get her contract. She is looking at launching her own brand and channel now that they've built her up. It's a risk the Daily Wire knows about. I know about.
It's not about the time. It's about the control. You get to control me.
If I hire a talent and then invest a ton of money to build up their profile, they can then leverage that to leave and go independent. Welcome to reality. That's why I don't have term contracts with anybody at Timcast. People ask me, like, are you serious? Pop Culture Crisis. Shout out to the Pop Culture Crisis crew. No term contracts. They can leave whatever they want. And I'm like, look, the way we structure things is there's a certain amount we want off the top for the investment we made. We need to recuperate our losses, but we recognize they could screw us over and stab us in the back. But
and I appreciate that with all that he's saying. And he's like, look, I get that, the talents are going to, create their own profile and their own brand. And then eventually, they're just going to leave. That's the name of the game. But I am okay with that. And so as much, I mean, I don't know, maybe okay with that is a strong way to put it, but I'm willing to entertain that, or I'm willing to risk that. That is the type of thing that even if you're like, Tim's becoming this, that, the fact that the talent is going to get strong is something you build into your business plan. Exactly. That is something that Young Turks did not build into. I mean, put Hassan in there. And Tim seems to be assuming that the Daily Wire also made the same mistake that the Young Turks did by not creating enough incentive to keep people who build their own brand under your umbrella. Daily Wire would be better off not creating a copycat, though. Absolutely agreed. I think, I would be okay I mean, I'm not Gen Z. I have plenty other, politics stuff to watch. But if I was Gen Z conservative, especially if I was a girl who really felt like, the comment section was my home base, which I have to imagine a decent number of young women do, then I'd be really upset that they're trying to do this and create a copycat. And maybe either whether it's Reagan herself or it's just somebody else, as rare as it is, especially with no, not that one. Where are you, Carl? Especially with comments like this, like you would understand why it's not necessarily something that is going to be very common, that you find women who are willing to do this and speak about this. But it's not possible. They're out there. They're out there. You have the money. You're the beacon. If you just put out a fucking post, hey, do you want to be the next Brett Cooper? Show us you can be the next Brett Cooper. And by the next Brett Cooper, meaning not Brett Cooper 2.0, break in as your own person. I highly doubt that they would have a hard time finding somebody. That doesn't really make sense. Monk said, I want to be the next Brett Cooper. Well, cut your dick off and go for it. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. So, I'm not the best at these types of, I'm not the best at these types of streams where we're jumping all around. We're talking about 7 different things. But it's just a very weird time of year. It's a weird time of year. Trying to decide how much I want to say. It's just a weird time of year. It's just a weird time of year. And, yeah. It's a weird time of year. So we're gonna keep trucking. We're gonna keep trucking. And I'll be here. Doesn't matter if I just saw for the very first time in the history of the Indian Jesus, the subscriber count has gone down. I'm still gonna be here. Yeah, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so very, very much, guys. Let's give a big shout out to all of the donations and new members. Thank you, guys, so very, very much. The only metric of this channel that has not gone down. The only metric on this channel that has not gone down in the last 2 months is you guys. The money. So, I mean, I hope that you can understand that while I'm, having my little pity party, it's not because I'm not making money. If this was about making money, you guys are giving me more money than I've had. The numbers keep going up in terms of money, and that's great. I really, really, really do appreciate it. That was for the Rumble Rant. Thank you, sir. But that's not what this is about. Money's needed. It's great. But that's not at all what this is about. And so when I ask you guys to share the video, when I ask you guys to hit the likes and all that stuff, when you guys do that, when you come through for me, it means so much. And I mean, it would be, I can't just be like, oh my God, thank you so much for the likes, guys. Oh my God, thank you so much. You wouldn't even want me to do that. I mean, unless you do, I will fucking bow down at every fucking like if you want. But, it's you guys really do come through for me. But at the end of the day, if the channel ain't growing, it's dead in the water. So please keep that in mind. I am not at all saying anything negative. I'm just being transparent about how this is all going. I feel like this is a joint venture with all of us. And I don't want to just, as much as I don't want to, it's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. But I feel like we are a community. And the more connected we are about every aspect, the tighter we can be as we grow. And when we do finally have some influence, when we do finally have a bank to do things, then I want your guys' opinion. What do we want to do with that money? When we actually have a surplus of money, we could buy better cameras. We could buy stuff where I could go out and do stuff on the street. We could buy ads to just get more people so that we could get more money to do bigger things. Whatever it is, we're doing it all together. We're doing it all together. And if you haven't been able to donate, this isn't me shaming you. I'm just being real. This is a free show. So you do not need to feel shame for not giving me money. You do not need to feel shame for, oh, I didn't get there right at 8 p.m. That's not what this is. This is here for you if you want, when you, and you know what it is. If you really enjoy it and you want it to grow and continue, that is where the money comes in. But if you just like enjoying the show, then please, by all means, continue just sitting back and enjoying the show. I will never, ever, ever, ever hold that against you. Oh, Box coming in with the last minute, another gifted membership. Shout out to David Lipke. Even in the middle of your, look at this, look at this, look at that, look at that. Just look at it, look at it. He's loving it. Thank you so very, very much, guys. We are trying something new with the after party. I want to get to know you guys more. And as much as, we all have politics in common, I don't really want to fucking talk about politics all the goddamn time, especially when I just did 3.5 hours of talking about politics. So let's do a no politics after party. If you are a member, come on through. Thank you so very, very much, guys. You are the world to me. You are the world. Once again, guys, this is the Overlord, a.k.a. Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Head over to the after party. Until then, guys, we are out of here. Peace.